Gaming.
Vampire the Masquerade Europe episode number 77, I believe.
Europe? No, we're not in Europe.
Well, we're not currently in Europe. That's true. The game is kind of core centrally set in Europe most of the time. In fact, it started in London, so there's that. But yes, you're right. We're in Paraguay right now, and this is Barry Tahira over there on my left. My left, I think so. Mm-hmm. And down there is Charlie. She's playing. Who are you playing, Charlie?
I'm playing Zahra.
Zahra. And over here we have Jesse playing Arthur. Say hello to Jesse. All right, so...
Howdy.
Before we start, could you turn yourself up just a little bit?
Hold on a second. It looks like my microphone's disappeared from the global settings. Isn't that typical?
What?
Okay.
Exactly, we can't hear him.
So I will add my microphone back in again.
Really? Do you have?
Yeah, it does that shit. Audio capture. Input capture. Here we go. Add a new source. Yeti. Yes. Okay. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that any better? Check, check, check. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. How's this doing?
You are very echoey.
Echoey.
Not on Zoom, but on Twitch.
But on Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if that's because I've got... No, it's all on mute. Interesting. Audio input capture. Let's kill this one. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. How about now? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
Perfect.
3.
Thank you.
Excellent. So now that we've fixed our various technical problems, let's do a recap. Who would like to begin our recap? Barry, you're always a great candidate for this, I feel. Bonus actions to take oneself off mute.
He's doing that intentionally.
Right. Back in the old days when he used to snort cocaine, it was great. Okay, Barry's obviously reneging on this wonderful opportunity to do the recap, so I guess we'll pass it over to Jesse to see what he has to say.
Let's see. We had been boating down the river.
Mm-hmm.
We had encountered other boats or a boat that contained police or some sort of paramilitary.
Right.
That had quite a large 50 cal machine gun mounted on the back. So we did a hasty retreat, hid in the reeds. Once it felt that it was all clear, we moved out of the reeds onto the shoreline where we had a momentary debate about what the hell we're supposed to be doing and where we were going and how we're going to get there and about the people that we left behind.
Right.
The church in their various states of aliveness.
Uh-huh.
And does Barry have something to say?
Got anything to add there?
Nope.
No,
Okay.
No,
all right. After a quick debate, we decided that we were going to pull over at what appeared to be an abandoned set of hovels or a small town, though again in a state of abandonment. And we holed up on there as long as we possibly could. I was out on watch with 2 pistols across one of the other hovels, watching the one building where Barry, who I can't remember the guy's name, not Victor.
Peter Wicks.
Peter and Zahra were sleeping during the day. They were then approached by the same group, well, at least best we could determine, the same group of individuals that had, I guess, been moving it up and down the coast looking for presumably us. They found our boat, disembarked, and I think Rkdm is muted.
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
we had then, I then took the opportunity to ambush said assailants before they got into the building where Zahra and Peter Wicks were whole. I've been
Right.
various sets of combat occurred, and long story short, dawn, or sorry, not dawn, but the sun went down. I was effed up beyond all recognition, drained considerable amount from Zahra in order to heal what wounds I could at that point in time.
Right.
Once we had finished with the last of the assailants, through a very John Wick fashion of double shot, flying through the air,
Right.
acrobatic maneuver executed by Arthur.
It was very impressive, if I recall.
It was very impressive.
Yeah, it
I
was
think it was
cool.
5 successes.
Yeah.
Then, once we had finished with the last of the combatants, we gathered what materials we could from the bodies, that included machine gun. Oh, sorry, not the mounted machine gun, but the whatever the assault rifle that the last baddie had.
AK-47s, I believe. Yeah.
Yes. And we got back into our boat and made a hasty retreat.
Mm-hmm.
At that point in time, Arthur, even though he had drained what he could from Zahra, he was in pretty rough shape. Holes in his legs and his arms. I think he even suffered one to the abdomen.
Right. So he's messed up beyond all recognition, bleeding out when finally, if I recall, Zahra, you did rise in the early dusk light, along with Peter Wicks. And there was a decision made, I believe. Would
Yep.
Zahra like to explain herself?
What?
Well, I believe Zahra did something at the end of last session that was...
No, but she was planning to.
She was planning to. Oh, she hasn't actually done it yet.
No.
Okay. Okay. So where are we exactly then? We're still in the room in the mud.
Nope.
Oh, you're on the boat now. You're on the boat. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what are you doing on the boat right now?
I'm gonna look for some thick jungle
Okay.
foliage
There's lots of that.
and park the boat there
Okay.
so she can do what she needs to do.
As you're pulling the boat up into the jungle's tangled reeds on the side of the river, it begins to rain, and the water begins to ripple as the rain strikes it. You get very refracted reflections from everything, from the moon to the lamps on the boat, if there are any. I don't know if you're using any light at this point. How are you maneuvering in the dark? There are searchlights on the boat, by the way.
Are there smaller ones?
There are like low wattage lights that are on the front of the boat just to make sure that it doesn't crash into anything, kind of thing. And because it's an official paramilitary boat, so to speak, it does have various safety lights and things on it. Normal light in the cabin as well, and downstairs inside the boat itself. But the searchlights are pretty full on. They're kind of on or off. There's no... I mean, I suppose you might be able to dim them, perhaps. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
there's 4 settings.
Okay, I'll dim them
Okay,
to get us to where I can find this foliage,
okay.
and then I'll park her up and try and hide it while she's doing whatever she's doing.
You guys, up until now, have you been traveling by light or what? How have you been doing this?
We have to travel by night.
Right. What I want to know is what level of enormous flare of target are you on the river?
Do we have moonlight?
Yes.
Then we'll use moonlight for the most part.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I get perception checks, and whoever's driving will need to make a driving check, dexterity and drive. So
Is it-
perception, alertness, and dexterity.
I don't know what.
Oops, you dropped out there, Peter Wicks, for a moment. What did you say? You don't know what?
Oh.
Repeat. Come in, Peter Wicks.
I don't know why there would be, but is there any jungle netting there?
Jungle netting
on the boat.
On the boat. There's a small chance. No.
Okay.
There is some medical supplies. There's food. There is. I don't know. How much are you investigating this boat while you're on it?
Well, I'm on it. I'll investigate it a lot because they're going to be busy.
Okay, so you're pulling the boat apart, basically. Is that kind of the plan, really?
Yeah, carefully. I'm not doing it stupidly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll roll a wits and investigation or a perception and investigation for you, Peter Wicks.
Because investigation is the Nosferatu thing.
It is the Nosferatu thing. It comes naturally to you. It is true. That is the wrong thingamajig. Here we go. Peter Wicks's character sheet. So what's everybody else doing while he is pulling the boat apart?
So we'll be at the, what was it, the galley or something? I can't remember what
downstairs, and yeah.
You can call it
the galley if you like.
So I'll be leaning against the desk that the radio is on, and I'll be writing something like, tell me what else you're good, tell me what you're good for, pretty much.
As I'm bleeding and my clothes are in tatters, it's just like, I just saved your motherfucking lives. That's what I'm good for. I'm good for surviving them.
I write more.
What more do you want? I mean, the master seemed to think I had a lot going for me.
Peter, you found some wires that lead into a panel in the wall.
Okay.
I write employment, skills.
You want my entire bloody dossier right now as I'm bleeding out of the fucking floor. That's what you're looking for. I'm an immunologist. I'm worth millions. Is that what you want? Do you want money?
Peter, you peel the panel back to reveal the wires seem to be going along inside the panel. Could be some sort of device in there or something. Could be a tracking device, or it could be something else.
An explosive device or a tracking?
Could be any of those things.
Well, I have a lock, even though I'm not worldly knowledgeable.
Alright. You're going to make a dex and dodge check?
Yeah. Oh, God, here we go. Alright. Yes, why not?
I write drugs? Question mark?
That is 0 successes.
Why am I not surprised?
So, Peter Wicks, you have Fortitude 1. That's good. And we're going to make a stamina check.
I'm going to get more fortitude.
You are very lucky. Maybe not that lucky.
Why not?
He's rolling real dice.
Yeah, you should have done that before.
Okay, Peter Wicks, the explosion that blasts out from the wall from the inside of the cabin below the navigation instruments blasts up and fills the room with fire around you momentarily in a flash.
Oh, run away.
All of the glass explodes. You have no celerity, so that's not a great option. But you are able to cross your arms and duck for cover and use your fortitude as much as you can to not die.
How big is this patrol boat? It must be bloody gigantic.
Not really, it's quite small. You can fit 4 people in the cabin at once, just.
Okay.
Which is why this place is like an explosion inside of a large telephone booth. You get knocked back through where the door was and land on the deck, and you are mauled with 4 levels of aggravated damage.
Do they have anything such as a fire extinguisher on this thing?
There is a fire extinguisher.
Okay. I will grab the fire extinguisher.
Okay, so getting up, you make a self-control check to approach the fire to move
Don't
towards
worry,
the fire
I'll get one if
extinguisher.
you use that machine.
Do it. Do it.
So there's one success off 3 dice. You approach the fire cautiously and tentatively. Now, while this is going on, and you're reaching for the fire extinguisher, picking it up, figuring out just exactly how this one works.
I follow the instructions on the fire.
Right, exactly. You're doing that. Downstairs, the boat rocks as the sound of an explosion goes off upstairs. The only good news I can offer you is that the boat's not sinking, at least not immediately.
Ah, thank you.
I write down, fuck.
Yeah.
And I keep that one.
Thinking.
Put that in my bra. and then
All
we'll go and find out what the hell just happened.
Peter, you grab the
Oh my
fire
God.
extinguisher and pull it out, and these guys start, you can hear them running up the stairs at this point. You can make a
not running.
perception alertness check. In fact, everybody can make the perception
I
alertness
wouldn't
check.
come a running if I was you. I yelled to them.
Okay, so that's what you hear. I wouldn't come a running if I were you.
Okay, we'll slow it down.
Do you stop on the stairs? You can feel a wave of heat come pouring down the stairs. Barry, you have 4 successes on a perception alertness check. You notice that little flakes of the explosion have fluttered off and begun to catch fire to the leaves and things in the nearby jungle just around you.
Okay.
But you do have the fire extinguisher in your hand.
I'll put it out now.
What are you going to put out? Where do you start?
Where the fire is.
So
what does it?
Ground zero.
The
basically.
worst part of the fire, yeah.
Basically ground zero. Okay, so you start there. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're going to make a... I'm going to call this Wits and Survival.
Okay.
It's not a bad roll. 6 dice for you.
Okay.
So 4 successes. Excellent. All right, so you start putting the fire out, and you start at ground zero, which is the inside of the cabin. The fire starts to die down inside there, and the smoke has gone from black to this color of steam and fire extinguisher, white powder or whatever the fuck it is in this particular fire extinguisher, depending on the type of fire it is. I don't know what they'd have on a boat, but it's loud and obnoxious, and it fills the air.
What, after I finished, what kind of damage is there? Is it thinking?
The damage immediately you can see is mostly superficial to the inside of the cabin. The glass is all blown out from the inside. The chair has been wrecked. That was on fire. That's melted largely. The instruments, the control instruments, seem to be all fucked up and melted as well, at least on the outside.
Control instruments of what?
The boat. The steering wheel.
Navigation.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Steering.
Yeah, all of that stuff. The steering wheel itself is half melted.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right.
The throttle is intact.
It's just not good, because if you can't steer it, it's a bugger anyway. It's going to crash.
Is it safe to go up now?
Yeah.
I'll just knock.
Come up now.
All right. I'm going to have a look around and survey the
Come
damage.
up now.
Surveil the damage.
Okay,
I'm a mechanic.
Can you make a perception alertness check, please?
Okay. 2.
2. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the damage looks like, as I said, the boat's not sinking. That's the good news. The other good news is the fire is out, except for a few sparks in the bush, which could still ignite if they aren't dealt with soon.
I'll just point to them.
You think that
to Peter.
You think that anybody with dark vision, like a gleam of red eyes or something, who looked up at the night sky would be able to see the large pillar of smoke that trails off above you guys. But that depends on whether or not you've actually got that. So I don't suppose any of you have that actual power, do you? No. So I just gave that all away. Never mind, for nothing. What a fool. All right, so what else? What are you looking for in particular? The state of the boat?
Well, yeah, the state of the boat, and I want to know if it still works.
And you're an engineer, is that right?
I'm a mechanic. I'm not an engineer.
Now, do you have mechanic as a specialty?
Mechanical aptitude.
Okay.
Is my merit.
Okay, and what stat does it apply to?
Well, I've attached it to craft.
I will go and put
because I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, it would either be craft or maybe science. I would be inclined to science, but it really depends on where you've put your stats already, just to be sort of keep it fair and consistent. So in which case, using the stat that you've assigned for now, craft and let's call it perception.
I will try and put out the fire in the forest.
All right. So
as
Peter,
much as I can. Yeah.
You get out of the boat, you jump out of the boat, and you're walking around up to your sort of waist high in water, up to your chest in water, holding the fire extinguisher above the water and spraying into the trees and branches. In there as you're doing that.
So I got 4 successes. I'm looking over
4 successes.
The engine.
Yeah. Okay, so you think that the boat, mechanically, it's almost, the engine, everything below deck is intact. The engine's intact. All of that stuff's intact. The really good news, you realize, too, is that the ammo store didn't go up, because that could have been a serious issue. It was shielded by the front of the cabin. So that's good news. The main issue is that the steering and navigation and all of the interior of the cabin is pretty much fried. You might be able to jury-rig the steering wheel, and then you could have the throttle and the steering wheel working, but you wouldn't know what speed you were going, which direction you were going. There's no radio, there's no compass, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll try and do that.
Okay. All right, so let's make another check on that. This time let's call it Dex and craft.
Okay. 5.
5 successes. All right, very well. So you managed to jury-rig a solution to the steering problem. Excellent.
I'll start it going, then stop it. Can I start and stop?
Yeah, you can use the throttle. Yeah.
Sweet.
The throttle was fine. It's really just the steering wheel that was totally fucked.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so...
And I'll give Arthur and Peter the thumbs up.
While that's going on, Peter, you're in the water. Arthur, what are you doing while she's fixing the steering and Peter's in the water spraying down the last of the fire?
What am I doing?
Indeed.
Well, I'm attempting to keep the holes that are in my belly from spewing additional ichor all over the boat.
Right.
What a baby.
I'm a doctor. I don't mind blood, just not my own. So I'm wrapping myself up as best I possibly can, but I'm not really moving anywhere that fast. So.
Right.
I'm just more of an observing,
trying to figure die.
Out, trying not to die. Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. Fair enough. So I don't think there's any real checks or anything I need to make for you, because you're not doing anything particularly proactive except trying to heal and stay alive. So, okay. Very good. We'll leave you there. Peter Wicks, you're in the water and you're carrying the extinguisher above your head, spraying into the trees. We're going to make a check for that. That's going to be dexterity and athletics. 1 success. Okay, well, you managed to
Of course, yeah.
You get some of the fire out. It's going out, but as fast as it's going out, it seems to be catching on. And so you're having to follow it, and the fire extinguisher is beginning to run out.
Of course it is.
Do you keep following the fire?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll make another Dex and Athletics check. Meanwhile, Zahra has finally managed to get the steering back going again. So that's 4 successes this time, Barry. You managed to put the fire out. As you do, we'll make a perception alertness check.
Yeah.
That's 1 success. You see out of the corner of your eye something drop off a large branch that's sort of overhanging the water by a few feet. Something just goes into the water, and you turn and you just see the water ripple.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So just to be clear, you're among the swamp. There's big trees, big tree roots coming out around you and over you in places.
Right. I'll go back to the boat.
Okay, so as you're making your way back to the boat...
I'm getting ready for something to grab me.
Right, something grabs you around the leg.
Yeah, I bite it.
You bite it, okay, so you just duck down into the water and just sink your fangs directly into it.
Yep,
okay. Peter Wicks comes back on board a few minutes later with a fucking boa constrictor over his shoulder.
I say, what is it with you and snakes?
I don't know. They just seem to like me. You know what I mean? Okay. Right. Well, there was a bomb on the boat. They're clever enough to rig their stuff. So we got to watch out for that next time. What about the dock? How's the dock doing?
Bleeding out everywhere. I'm just up on the deck, just holding my belly. It's already been tied tight as possibly could go.
Don't you think you should kind of get to work?
I shrug and then walk back downstairs. I'm also gonna grab Arthur by the scruff and just drag him down with me.
Down the stairs, okay. That's gonna hurt, Arthur. That's gonna hurt bad.
Yep.
Okay, so drag down the stairs one at a time. You feel every step. Okay, do you resist at all?
No, I'm just thinking in the back of my head, or my brain, going, it's like, it's all going to be worth it. It's all going to be worth it.
Right. Do you want to make a self-control check?
I can.
I'm not sure what the results of this are. I just kind of want to know what the dice say. They might suggest a course of action.
Yeah.
One success. Okay, well, I guess you're holding on, but you're only by a tooth, by a thread. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
All the makeshift stitches and all the padding is starting to pop out.
Yeah.
It's not good.
When we get downstairs, I write, you're going to work for me from now on.
Working for you? I thought I was working for the master.
I look confused. Master?
She even gets the accent on the written notes.
Yeah.
It's quite a talent.
Master in Chicagoan? Yeah.
Ah, the guy that we were talking to, the guy who sent us on this.
You could use Gothic plate
merry-go-round.
font. Just use different fonts for different accents, like they do in Asterix, the Gaul.
Who is this master?
Madong.
Madon. Question mark.
Yeah.
Peter, what are you going to do with the snake?
I am gonna put the snake down and cover up the boat.
Okay.
like I was intending to do.
All right, so you're back to work covering up the boat. You're using whatever covers, tarpaulins and stuff you can find, yeah? And then
Make it
covering
look as jungly as fucking possible.
tree branches and what have you. So this is a Nosferatu doing some jungle survival skills.
Yep.
Okay, let me just look into that while the others continue their dialogue.
Right. I pull up the sign saying, "You work for me now."
What if I say no? Yeah. Just gonna leave me to die?
Yes.
But you do realize you're holding out of cards right now. Yeah? I have nothing to bargain with.
I'm gonna write
I just
no.
move my hand away from my stomach, and it just pours out.
I write no on one. One already says yes, and then I put them in front of you.
I mean, this is part of the test. This is not the test that I was thinking it was going to be. I'm starting to bleed out completely. I'm probably getting a lot more pale. My expert opinion is I probably have about 3 minutes before heart failure.
Right.
So Barry, you got one success. You got one success on a wits and survival check. I tend to think that you have a certain level of ability at this anyway, so I'm kind of considering that. So I'm thinking maybe you just run out of material. The material just is not enough.
I'm like this. I'm like this.
And when he does that, he takes his hand off
the microphone,
the keyboard.
So he's like goes down on his knees and goes no, but it's just like
I'm like, what the fuck? How can I run out of materials? Oh, it's all over there. Fuck.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I go down and see how these two are bloody doing.
Though Wix, I will give you one opportunity here. On the survival check, your one success does suggest to you, you know what, you just killed an enormous snake. You could possibly gut it and use its skin for some of the cover. I mean, it's not much.
I go about doing that.
All right,
I
very
go
good.
about doing that. Okay.
Meanwhile, Arthur and Zahra.
I think there's a bit of a conflict, honestly, going on in Arthur's head. I mean, he spent so long part of his life getting out from under the boot of people that think that own him, or he somehow own him as an individual, whether it's his father, whether it's his job, whether it's the university, whether it's this plaguing nightmare, and now somebody is saying, hey, you know what, I can save your life.
Right.
But you gotta work for me, and it's galling.
So Peter, you're on your way back down sometime soon. Whenever you want, you can come back into
What
the
are
scene.
you two doing?
Zahra, I just want to check something with you. Can you make a perception and medicine check for me, please?
Okay. One.
Hey, Black Mesa Incorporated. Did I say that right?
No, you didn't do it the last time either.
Oh, well, how do you say it?
Black Mesa.
Black Mesa Incorporated. Black Mesa Incorporated. Okay, there you go. I figured out where the brakes are now. See, I'm that smart. Okay, so what did you get on your medicine check?
One. She got
success?
one.
So what you know at this point, Zahra, and are you looking at the screen right now? Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? He has this long left. That's his blood.
Zahra, do it now. Do it now or he dies.
I'm holding my stomach, and it's like, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. I fall to one knee.
Go on, hurry up.
Oh man, he's second guessing his follow now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Come back. We love you.
Okay, self-control.
Zahra, if you don't do
All
it, we're
successes.
short a man.
All successes. What did you roll?
2 10s and 2 9s.
What was it for?
Self-control to see whether or not I break down.
Right. You have
I do it.
And there it goes.
Dramatic
That was it.
tension.
That was tense.
Yeah.
That was kind of tense. All right.
So
how do you do
I
it?
quickly reach for his dom wrist and start drinking his dom blood out of his dom body.
I don't know what she's talking about. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She's
you're drinking.
pissed that she doesn't have a thrall.
So Arthur, you're going to your knees now. Well, you're already probably on the floor, so you're beginning to pass out, and life itself is beginning to blink out. Your heart is racing faster and faster. Adrenaline is kicking in. You're sweating. Suddenly, your body begins to feel very sick indeed, and you feel like you're dying. You really have that intense paranoia that you might get from a really bad drug trip.
Then I bite myself and then give him his blood back,
Right, and
but
then
with mine as well.
Just as you pass out, Arthur, you wake up. And as you wake up, you feel yourself pouring forth out of a tunnel of light and back into your brain, as if you've just appeared there for the first time. And you look around. There's still a lot of pain, but you feel different and you feel alive. And you can feel everything healing. First of all, your body is beginning to transform and it's spitting out all of the toxins and what have you. Now, I'm going to get you to roll 3d6 for me.
Okay.
Today. This shall determine. This
2d6.
shall. This shall.
2d10.
Well, today it's 3d6. Because of equatorial conditions.
Yes, but we don't use D6s, so you made him go and find them.
Okay, you can roll 3d10 then. I don't.
No,
care.
2d10s. I will go up to Auckland just to fight you.
I welcome you to do it.
So on 2d10, it was a 10 and a 5. If I needed to add one, I have the 6 for the 3d10. I do have 3d6
10 and a 5
or 3d10.
works.
Yeah.
What did you get on 3d10? Oh, sorry.
The 3d10 was 5, 6, and a 10.
5, 6, and 10. I think we'll go with 2d10 then. All right, fine, Charlie. Just be a smart aleck. So that's 15 hours of transformation ahead of Arthur.
Oh, that's not good.
That's hours.
That sucks.
The hours of pain and vomiting and purging and both ends equally for a while. You really think you're dying awfully. It's bad. And so
Best fucking trip I've ever had.
And you're curled up on the floor in a fetal position for some of this, I'm imagining it comes in waves too. So there might be like half an hour of somewhat normalcy between waves of pain and intense sickness, purging.
In between one of those waves, I write a note. You owe me 3 times. At least do that.
I'm in and out of my half fugue state. I'm just 3. As I'm barfing out toxins, sweating out THC.
Right.
Oh, there goes that angel death I had last week. Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I'll go upstairs with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Won't I, Peter? Come on.
So you're going to leave
Don't make
Arthur
me
there, basically leave him there in the cabin to suffer for a while.
And
That's
you're
the
gonna
general plan.
and you're gonna help this guy through his experience.
Now, to bear in mind that I said 15 hours, this began approximately 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
So it won't
Good to know.
really be properly finished until the following dusk. Because he'll have to sleep.
With Mercy, she rolled 2 1s.
Wow, 2 hours.
Yeah. I was like, at first I was like, oh, that's the shittiest roll I've ever seen. Until you told me what it was for.
Right.
No,
So,
no.
Yeah.
quick question when it comes down to the bloodborne disease
Right.
that he had as part of his background that was built in. Is there anything untoward happen? Or is it...
What do you think? Do you have any feelings about it particularly? I don't want to I don't want to wreck your character one way or the other, so I feel it should be within your agency as the player to meta-create with, collaborate with the outcomes there. So I'm not going to force anything. But if you want to elaborate on any particular element or aspect,
The only thing that I would say that it would definitely be in your ballpark or side of the court would be whether or not any of the memories that were stored in that blood capsule actually do start to penetrate and build at some point in time. So that's why it's really more of a story element. So that, like, here you go, here's a bunch of shit that you can
well, I feel
torture this guy with.
This is a good point for that to begin. And maybe this is where, during the midst of all of this, you have flashes of moments from another life, perhaps another embrace. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You might be quite confused about what it all means.
So more flashbacks of Matthew Hawthorne and all that weird shit that I was having before as it was leaking out.
Yeah. But perhaps a little bit more... not control over it, but more vivid detail. Maybe a sense that control can be had over it, perhaps, with work.
Okay.
Maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of where you're at the moment. So if you've got a character sheet right now, which probably is based on a human stat block, you could probably make a vampire now. And add some basic disciplines because you're a caitiff.
Gen 7.
So what generation is he?
7.
7. Wow. Okay, nice. 7th gen caitiff. Impressive.
Yeah. Same character sheet as the standard author crane. It's just now we can actually use all the cool stuff.
Right.
Like the blood pools and the disciplines.
Yeah. Cool bananas. Okay, can I get a perception check from everybody, please?
Perceptions.
Nope.
No.
No, well, I've only got 2 dice, so...
Which game session on Roll20 are you rolling in, if any?
Europe.
Europe,
and GC's also in Europe.
Okay, cool. All right, so I've got the Chicago and
not
the
that he's using it
here just to check.
I'm in a very painful barfing stage right now. I don't think I'm in any condition.
True that. Okay, so Peter Wicks, I'm going to roll your perception alertness for you. And yeah, I think Arthur, you could make this check, but you're going to be penalized with -3 dice.
Okay.
Perception alertness for Barry, for Peter Wicks. Where are you, Peter, right now?
I am up the top.
Yep.
It's really good.
Obfuscated.
Still 3 successes.
Obfuscated on the deck.
Why are you obfuscating? I sign.
You can't see him.
I know.
So you don't know if he's obfuscating. He might have left.
I took him up there to have a chat to him.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
But he obfuscated on me.
So you go upstairs.
I'm like, what the fuck?
You get to the burned out cabin, and Peter Wicks sort of steps out of the cabin into the darkness on the deck and disappears.
Yeah, it's just instinct. Out in the open, you're in a bunker.
Right. Perhaps you can still hear him.
I'm gonna go check that really awesome, that like big ass gun. I'm gonna go check that out.
Okay, so you go to
that looks cool.
All right, like 50 millimeter machine gun mounted there. It's pretty terrifying. You wouldn't want to be hit by it. It would leave big holes in a person.
I look at it and just nod.
Right. Peter, you can hear in the distance something that sounds like...
What the hell?
Unmute.
Barry?
You hear
that? Are you talking to Zahra?
Yeah. You hear that?
Do you break obfuscate?
Yeah, I would talking to you.
Okay, well, Zahra looks visibly shocked for a moment.
There's a vehicle of some description heading this way.
I sign what vehicle?
I can't decide whether it's a motorboat or a helicopter in the distance. I don't think a helicopter would be able to see us, but a boat would go right past us.
You can see now, Peter, on the horizon above the trees at the edge of the next valley, this little halo of light beginning to rise amongst the trees.
It's a helicopter. And he points over in the direction where he can see.
Could I make a check to see it?
Sure. In fact,
it's a helicopter.
If he points at it, I think you can pretty much figure it out.
Okay, sweet.
And with my 3 successes...
With your 3 successes, you would have just heard the sound of you think it's a helicopter. You've heard the sound before.
But I'm going to make this a complete and utter detriment to my character as he's going through the transformation, and part of vampirism comes with the heightened senses.
Uh-huh.
That noise.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so he's just right.
Just holding my head now.
I'd like to hop behind the gun.
You get behind the gun. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you can check this gun out and make a wits and investigation check if you like.
Sure.
Yeah. The other thing is you can make another perception alertness check. Also Barry. We'll roll yours up.
So 3 for the wits investigation.
Okay. All right, so you're sort of checking out the mechanism for the gun. It's quite complicated. You've never seen a gun this complicated before. It involves, belt feeds and loops and clips and toggles and stuff. I'm not an expert on these things, so I just imagine it's not that easy. Perception alertness coming up for Barry. Everybody else can make this perception alertness check as well if they wish. 2 successes, Barry. 1 for you. Okay.
Yep.
So -3 for me is still...
All right. It sounds like the chopper is receding. But then it stops, and then you hear gunfire. And then anybody that's standing on the balcony on the boat, on the deck of the boat, will see this line of yellow flashes just lighting up across the horizon. Like a whole line of yellow, like tracer rounds, pouring out of the side of the helicopter down into the jungle, almost horizontally.
I would like to return fire.
Oh, you're going to return fire. Okay.
Yes.
So you can make a wits...
I can't hear you, Peter.
Peter will stop her. He'll pull her away from it.
Okay.
Because it's not shooting at us. It's not shooting at us.
I say so.
It's not shooting at us. Don't make yourself a target. Use your head, girl. If it starts turning towards us or coming too close to us, then we shoot.
Okay, I would like to ready to shoot.
Ready to shoot.
Yeah.
All right. Can you make
under those conditions.
Can you make a wits and firearms check?
Sure. Wits and firearms. I think that's a pretty good, trade. 4.
Okay. You go through and you check off all the points where the ammunition belt feeds into the gun. You figure out the mechanisms as they go through. You've got the mechanical thing going on, and you work out basically how it works. The question is going to be whether or not you can target anything and whether the target is in fact aligned. You get the impression that this is an old gun, probably from the 60s or something like that. And it may have been damaged or something at some point. You don't know how well it's been maintained. How accurate it is, or even if it goes, are two very different questions. But yeah, okay. So you maintain you're targeting the chopper with it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, if we've gotten to that point where everything looks right,
yep.
Chances are it is going to function, right?
Seems to be. It's a bit squeaky.
Sure, it'll be fine.
It's a bit squeaky and it rattles a bit in places. You've definitely used more well-maintained ironing boards, but nonetheless.
Is it rigged to explode?
Is it rigged to explode? The gun?
Yes.
Peter wants to make a perception and investigation check.
Sure, I would have found something, right?
You would think so, but Peter wants to make a check.
Okay, yeah. That's good. Keep doing what you do.
Perception and investigation. It's all the way down at the bottom. Here we go. Alright, what do we got here? 2 successes. One of them is a 10. Peter, you can see no point in the gun where there is any possibility of any kind of explosive device.
But I'm happy.
Okay. Cool. Arthur is in the hold, wriggling and bleeding and suffering and being remade as a vampire. And
are you going to go down and see your boy and see if he's doing all right?
I will say that he's probably going to be as all right as anyone that goes through the transformation.
Right, and you're speaking.
It's really hard to sign that, I imagine.
Right, you're speaking this to Peter in sign language in the dark.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you can abbreviate just by "sucks to be him."
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally say, sucks to be him, huh?
Yeah.
To be him. Yeah. All right. The chopper, having spent a little while circling a spot in the jungle about a mile away, firing copious amounts of lead into the whatever is down beyond the tree line, begins to circle out, spirals up a little bit higher. Its searchlights beam out across the trees, flashing down the edge of the river. It crosses the river away from you at this point, to the other side of the river, probably equidistant to the last place that it just set fire to. And it hovers around there for a while, shining searchlights. It goes along the riverbank up there. It continues along, and you see it heading back along the shore, the riverbank, north, in the direction that you came from. And it's on the same side of the river presently as the side of the river where you had your firefight in that small hamlet of mud houses. What would you like to do? Anything in particular?
I'm waiting.
The rain intensifies. The chopper has gone out of your vision now. An hour passes and the rain gets heavier.
And this is tropical rain, so it's going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
I sadly leave the gun. I run my hand along it. Then I go downstairs.
All right. Now there's a deluge.
To Arthur.
There's water dripping down the stairs as you come in. in through because the outside of the boat, the glass has been smashed. The water is just pouring into the cabin and then down the stairs now. So there's a thin sliver of water on the floor right now. And Arthur, you're probably laying in it.
In the water?
Yeah. In the
yeah.
rainwater. It's
writhing, squirming, going through one of the worst withdrawals.
Yeah.
He thinks that's what it feels like. It's just like the worst bloody withdrawal he's ever had.
Right. So there's blood and water mixed on the floor of the cabin.
I'm sure there's all sorts of other nasty things.
Yeah, that's probably true. Probably true. Okay.
Do I see her come in?
You would see them come in. Yeah, you see her come in. I don't know where. Peter, did you come back in?
Yeah, I'll come back in.
Okay. So
how long has the transformation been going for?
At this point, can you roll me a d10?
2.
So 2 hours.
Oh my
2
God.
hours since you've been embraced.
I
You've
will.
got 13 minutes to go.
I will look for something to stop the water from coming in.
Okay, so you're going to go and try and fix the flooding problem, Peter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I shall devise a role for that whilst these guys continue role-playing.
I walk over him. And I'll start searching through like cupboards and cabinets, all the C words.
Wits and survival, I think. So you're going through the cupboards and the
closets.
Cabinets. Okay. All right. No, that's good. Can you make a wits and investigation check, please, Zahra?
All right.
Meanwhile, Peter Wicks, you get a 10 and a 9 for your check for blocking the flood. So you are successful. You cover up. You find that if you adjust the tarpaulins that you're using for your stealth and camouflage, you're able to cover up the windows as well, and stop the rain coming in. Zahra, what did you get for your check?
I got 1.
1 success. You find a locked cupboard.
Can I attempt to just yank it open, or is it
you can make an athletics check, strength and athletics, please. You're gonna need 4 successes. Difficulty is 7.
No. So I'm going to.
It appears to be a strong box.
Right. I'm gonna look for something to try and open it with, either a key or something else.
How well did we search our guards earlier?
I wouldn't have searched them at all.
Right.
Peter would have searched them.
Peter, well, we're going to make a retrospective investigation check for Peter.
It is the nature of a Nosferatu to make sure he's got everything.
So, wait a minute, what is it? 3 plus investigation is going to be 6. So, wow, 4 successes off 4 dice plus, not 4 successes. Okay, so you do have a key.
I will sign loudly to Peter.
Loudly.
Can you open this? Or the crowbar one. I can't hear you. What?
I just toss it to you. Toss the key to you.
I hope I can catch it without making a roll. It's
You're
just
not
a
that
set of
far
keys.
away from me, eh?
Yeah, you mean what's your dex and athletics?
It's
Well, then you could make a dex and athletics check, or you're going to drop those keys in the river.
All right. Well, we're inside, so it would be weird.
So it's not going to go in the river.
Yeah, it really would be weird. 2 successes.
Okay, yeah, whatever. You catch the keys. Big deal.
Sweet.
You got the
And then
keys.
I open the box.
You open the box. Okay, so inside the box, first of all, you see a wad of cash, like a massive wad of cash. Must be tens of thousands of. There are American dollars and there are Paraguayan, whatever they have in Paraguay, currency. Paraguay. I'm guessing Paraguayan pesos.
Spanish money. It'd be Spanish money, wouldn't it?
Well, not necessarily Spanish money.
Well, I'm just saying it might be. I didn't know much about Paraguay.
How do I not know this?
Pesos?
Pesos, I think. Yeah, that's the one. Pesos. Pesos.
We have the internet. It will tell
No, it
us.
is the Guarani.
The Guarani.
Yeah. It's divided into 100 cents, so basically it's $1. Okay, see, this is why we like role-playing. We get to educate ourselves about things we know nothing about and foolishly wander into and make ourselves look like idiots and have to correct ourselves.
If I find somewhere to put it, like, I mean, I'm wearing a jacket. I could probably put it in there.
But wait, there's more. There's also a pistol with ammunition in it. There are several passports inside a plastic bag and other IDs. They all have the same image of the same person on them. The names are all different. They're all Spanish. There's Pablo, Pedro, Esteban, Rodriguez, Diego, Rafael, all these names on these various IDs. There's a small packet of C4 and a detonator, 2 grenades, and a stake, wooden stake, and a piece of paper that you unroll, and it turns out to have a map on it, or so it appears.
Does it have anywhere on the map sort of marked?
It does. First of all, it has the river that you're on currently. I believe it's the Paraguay River. If I'm not wrong, it feeds the Amazon River and thus also has piranhas. There are a number of towns along the river. Let me reflect upon them. But basically, there's one town to the south of you. Dum, 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 dum. There's a town to the south of you. There are a number of hamlets and farming communities along the sides of the river, heading north. This area seems to be bordered by some kind of, or it seems to be under some kind of military restriction or control. According to the map, there's a big triangle shape over the area that you're in, like a yellow triangle. It doesn't have any kind of description of what that is. One of the points of the triangle at the very bottom is right on the border of the occupied, or should we say controlled, territory. And according to the map, there is some sort of base there at that township, along with a hospital and, other institutions and so on. Further to the north, there is an unmarked location hidden in the mountains where the river kind of seems to be coming from.
I show the others what I've found, and I will like yank like Arthur like up out of his own vomit just to have a look at it.
All right, Arthur, you have a look at the map.
Okay.
Would you like to make a wits and investigation check if you so wish?
Wits and investigation. Sure.
I sign, even though you won't be able to understand. You're a survivor, aren't you?
Greetings, adventurers, says Vancouver by night. And
she
Talk
says,
is here as well. Hey, Talk.
She says, you're a survivor, aren't you?
Gosh, I'm a survivor. I try to make a move to at least get myself into a better position and not kneeling in my own
Right, in your own
stuff.
feces and vomit and excrement
Yeah.
and so on.
You know the stuff we got from the plane before we jumped and ended up
The
here?
stuff that you got from the plane, that was very few things. That was
it
a Glock.
one of
some
one of them
ammunition.
wouldn't be a knife with a compass in the handle, would it?
No, it was a Glock. It was a parachute, and it was a radio. Those were the three things in three different boxes, and you had to open them all and get them equipped before the back of the plane opened, and you were basically evacuated at 15,000 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was your first test,
Okay.
which you narrowly survived, I might add.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the map.
All right. So you can make a wits and investigation check. What did you get on yours, Arthur?
Got a 1.
1. Okay. You probably work out about as much as Zahra has worked out so far. So Peter, you're making a wits and investigation check as well as you investigate the map. Wits and investigation. Where is you? Investigation. We often lament on this channel how in Vampire the Masquerade version 1 and 2 character sheets the skills are not listed alphabetically, making life somewhat irritating from time to time. 2 successes. Looking at the map, you think you can see a couple of places, Peter, that to you represent like forts or bases or installations. They seem to be along the side of the west bank of the river in the mountains, where there seem to be small installations looking down across the valley. From there, you can see beyond the river, beyond the triangular zone, is the country of Paraguay itself, and the form of the triangle seems to follow generally along the routes of geographical features like rivers and mountains and things like that.
And where are we precisely in this triangle?
Well, that's the question. You have no clue where you are. Looking at it, I mean, you're looking at the shape of the river and what have you. I suppose you could. What did you get for your check? 2 successes. I think that would make a more specific check for that. Does that sound reasonable?
Could survival actually be appropriate skill here?
Wits and survival.
Did the church have a name? Like Saint
Maria.
Saint Maria. Is it on the map? Because churches are often on maps.
Is it on the map? It will be on the map, yes, actually. 3 successes. Okay, you find the Church of Saint Maria, and from there you're able to infer various other points along the way. You realize that there is a medium-sized installation on the other side of the river, about 10 miles south of you.
Is that out of this triangle?
No. The triangle is very big. The triangle is about 500 to 600 miles on each side.
All right. This looks like a military installation here. Some kind of installation. Have we tried our radios yet?
The radio, well, the interface has been burned and exploded.
No. The radios you said we got from the plane. Yeah.
Right. Yes, a limited amount. You have used them, I believe.
Okay. Now, I've got a radio like that.
And you've only got 2 because one of them didn't make it.
Yeah. But they sometimes, if you put them on different channels, they sometimes pick up the conversations of other people.
So you're looking to sort of scry the channels, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to use the radio to try and see if you can listen in on some.
It goes from 1 to
chatter.
10. Yeah.
All right. Now tell me again what languages you guys speak. I think you speak some Latin, don't you, Arthur? That was the closest we had to Spanish in this group.
Yes.
Right. Well, we're going to make a wits and science check for Peter Wicks. He doesn't have any science, but we won't let that stop him. With an 8, 1 success. You do hit some channels. You can hear some cross chatter. It's coming from a long way away. One of them sounds... There's a lot of beeps in it, making it suggestive of possibly something like an airport or air traffic control or something like that.
Cool. So from that we know there must be an airport somewhere.
Maybe. Well, there was also a helicopter nearby too.
Yeah, look on the map where that helicopter might have come from.
Right. Well, the base at the bottom of the map, where the river leaves the zone, that looks like it has a heliport.
Okay, so we mark that off. Okay, that's where the helicopter probably came from.
Zahra's going to sign. I think we should keep moving. At least till sun up.
Okay.
And then before sun up, find somewhere to sleep.
So how does this...
I'm just gonna like, as I'm looking at the map, I'm just like shivering away, like, and I kind of nod and concur based on my wits and survival check with 2 to like, yeah, that looks right.
So what are you doing?
Into the where the helicopter was probably coming from.
You're going to head there, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I make that suggestion, yes.
Okay, you make that suggestion, okay.
In my limited vocabulary, my teeth are chattering away, so...
Right.
That might be where the bad guys came from, though.
I will signal big gun.
Yeah, but bad guys usually have big weapons.
We take their weapons, I say to you, but you probably don't understand.
Can I get a perception alertness check from everybody, please?
All right. 2.
2.
Yeah.
All right.
Am I still at a negative?
I think you're down to one negative.
Okay.
Seeing as we're getting through the night, we're going to say another. I rolled a 10. I was going to say another D10 hours have passed, and I rolled a 10.
Well, you
so
rolled.
I guess
that's what you said.
It's very late. It's very late now. Then, okay, not much else has happened. We can retrofit tweaks if you need to, but 10 hours have passed, and about that point,
can we say that we had traveled at that point? We were traveling.
You're going to be traveling, okay?
Maybe we could say like off.
All right, so you started moving.
Traveling.
You started moving the boat, okay?
Yes.
All right, so you're traveling south. Arthur's on the floor of the boat still, or is he on a bed or something, a makeshift bed or anything like that? A chair?
Who cares?
Arthur, do you make any effort to get yourself onto a seat or a bed or a bunk or anything?
I would have at least tried to move out of the awful and onto something a little more supportive. Yes, like either a makeshift chair or bench or whatever.
I know. I will get this poor sod some clean clothes and help him get out of whatever he's in, and then put him on a bunk if there's a little bunk there, or in a chair, you know.
Okay.
And then go, hey, I like to tell you that it's going to get better before it gets worse, but no. It's going to get a lot worse. And then you'll feel a relief.
Okay.
Okay.
What do we got for our perception checks, ladies and gentlemen? Barry, you got 2.
Just as he's finishing putting Arthur into a more suitable position, recovery position, I'm thinking right now there would have been a moment of just sheer clarity where he just looks Peter Wicks like just dead in the eyes, like, appreciate it, sir. Thank you. And then he passes out.
All right, fair enough. And Charlie, what did you get for your perception check?
2. But I'll be driving the thing.
You're driving, okay. So Charlie, what you notice then, even more strongly than Peter, because you're closer, is a flash of light in the trees ahead. Bright light panning through the trees, sending streams of light, breaking them up amongst the branches, and flaring out over the top of the trees.
Okay, I'm going to like make a strong knock at the staircase down, and I'm going to run to the gun.
So who's driving right now?
I think I would have stopped.
So you cut the engine first?
Yeah, cut the engine.
Okay, that's what I
Run,
wanted to
knock.
hear. All right,
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to go driving into the bushes and smash the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you cut the engine, knock on the door. Open the
Yes.
door and then go down.
I just want them to know that there's something wrong.
Okay, so you just give
And
a,
knocking
you
is
just
my
give a
way of
knock
doing
on
it.
the door, right? And they know that you're mute, so they're not likely to take that as anything other than get the fuck up here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wix,
I do, because he can't.
all right, Wix, you appear, and with your 2 successes on your perception check, you too can see the lights flashing. You begin to realize, the pair of you, that it is another patrol boat, much like the one that you're in, cruising along the river around the bend. You've got about... Well, you've got about
I want to fire.
this long before they spot you.
Well, she's there. She's gonna fire.
All right,
Yes.
you're going to fire it. Decks and firearms for you.
Yeah, baby.
Please, Zahra. Decks and firearms. Who's on the on driving the boat then? Anyone?
Oh, no, she stopped it, remember?
She stopped the boat, so she's gone from the cabin to the gun, turned the gun around towards the trees where the light is in the trees, and she just starts ripping up those fucking trees with a 50 caliber machine gun.
Oh,
Yes, I will. Like, if you need to, like, to attribute for time, I will just use a blood point to use celerity if you think that is required.
Okay, I'll
Because
consider
I've got a
that.
lot of celerity.
All right, we'll keep that
Yeah.
under. You can't really fire a machine gun any faster than it goes.
No, I meant like
But you can turn it around, maybe. a
turning
bit
off the
faster.
engine to knocking
Right.
to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Russell,
do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peter is going to go off the boat with the C4 and obfuscate and go
Okay.
to the other boat.
So where did you get the C4?
You put it in the box. You said
I
there
did,
was
but
C4
Charlie
there.
found
Yeah.
the box. Zahra
Yep.
found the box. Did
I didn't
give-
take everything in the box, so
Did
I
she
took
leave
the
it?
cash.
Okay, you took the cash. Does he
kinda
know
left
about
everything
the
else.
box?
He
You
was
told-
there.
Didn't she tell us what was in it, though?
I can't really tell you, but I
Oh,
was
you
there
know.
opening it in front of everyone.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Peter, I'm just going to make a quick check to see if you noticed it.
Yeah.
You did. 10, 10, 8. Cool. Dice have spoken.
Okay.
You have the C4. So you
I
get off the
take the
boat.
C4, obfuscate, yeah.
Alright. Yep. So you got the detonator and the C4. You're
Yeah.
obfuscated. You're in the muck up to your shoulders.
Yep,
You're
yep,
moving
yep,
through the water, holding these things above the water now instead of a
Yep.
fire extinguisher.
yep,
Watching out for snakes,
yep.
having been bitten already. Well,
Yeah.
actually,
And they
you-
make an excellent meal.
You bit the snake, not the other way
Yep.
around. Okay, so you're moving through the water, Charlie. You turn the gun around, onto this enemy vessel, and
Yes.
you let rip with the fire button, the
Yeah.
trigger. You pull the trigger, having taken off the safety. Out roars this massive amount of ammunition in a very short space of time.
Awesome.
Can you roll decks and firearms, please?
Oh, I already have 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. All right. Well, you hit the boat. You don't totally fire all the way down the side of it because as you begin to hit it, whoever's driving it begins to turn it immediately, and they manage to avoid about half of the fire. But still, you hit with great ferocity and accuracy at the beginning of that burst. Immediately, they return fire moments later as their own 50 caliber machine gun begins to fire upon your boat. Barry, you're in the water, moving through the water.
Okay.
You're going to make a dex and
Oh gosh, it's
athletics
fine.
check. Nobody's driving your boat, so there is no dodging.
I mean, as a person,
You can make an individual dex and dodge check, yes.
6.
Okay, you don't get hit by the various myriad shards and pieces of deck and other crap that come flying out from the massive 50 caliber holes that begin appearing around you, tearing literally through the outside of the hull into your boat.
Do I get another chance to retaliate?
You will in a moment. Barry, you're making a check because you're moving through the water, and I think this is actually strength and survival. No, athletics.
Poor Arthur. Doesn't know what's going on.
Strength and athletics.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Arthur, you're seeing bullet holes opening up the side of the room that you're in. Okay, that is 3 successes. All right, so Barry, you are closing on that boat now. You find that there's a bank of mud and reeds between this part of the river and that part of the river. So do you get up and run, or do you crawl? Cannot hear you.
I crawl.
You crawl.
My best
Okay.
thing is crawling.
And you're obfuscated too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're staying below the gunfire, so to speak.
Yeah.
Crawling. Just, you know those exercises you see them doing in like Navy SEALs camps where they literally fire machine guns like inches over the top of their heads while they're crawling along underneath ropes?
Yeah.
It's like that.
I'm seeing the bullets go.
Yeah, they're flying over your head, just inches above you. Okay, and you're closing on the side of the boat. Meanwhile, Zahra, you're making a dex and firearms check.
Yes.
Arthur, you can make a dex and dodge check.
Oh, -2. Jams.
-2. Oh, no, them 50 caliber machine gun jams. Fuck. Okay.
Can I celerity to fix
celerity
that?
to fix it. Okay, so you're going to use your celerity to whip around to the other side of the gun. You're going to start trying to get the chain going back through through the sockets. You can make a dexterity and craft check with your mechanics speciality. Arthur, did you get a dex and dodge there? 1 success. Ooh, okay,
easy.
so Arthur, a big hole appears in the side of the boat. Very close to you, hitting you in the leg. In fact, you take a level of aggravated damage, and now you're a vampire. You can actually take that. It doesn't rip your leg off. It would have though. So yeah, ouch. And
all
Arthur,
that pain.
Arthur, can you make a perception alertness check too while you're here?
All right. 3.
The boat's now sinking.
PG.
Zahra, you fixing the gun, what did you get?
Yes. 6.
6 successes. Okay, you get the gun back online. Dex and firearms, please.
All right, let's go. 3.
3 successes.
Right?
Okay. All right, you hit the other boat again, but now they seem to be retreating backwards, out of your vision, and they switch their lights off. Their guns go quiet. Barry, you're sneaking now through the river, across the mud. You can see their boat now. Now you've got to swim to them,
Okay.
holding the C4 out of the water.
Slide in carefully and go like, under, swim along. Swim along. Catch up with them.
Can C4 be made waterproof?
It
Normally,
must be, because they use it in special forces.
They do, but I'm wondering whether or not that's like fancy special forces Navy SEALs C4, if normal C4 that you buy on the black market is kind of less quality and...
Well, that's kind of up to you.
I think it dice roll with
As long as you have an electric charge that is submerged within the C4 that isn't wet, you're fine.
Okay, all right.
As long as, well, it also depends on whether or not it's a radio detonator or...
Right. I had a radio detonator in mind. Okay, so you move up to the boat and you're going to plant the C4 under the boat, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then get
So
out of there.
as you're doing that, Barry, you realize the boat is pulling backwards on its reverse thrust. away from the location where it was, and so you're holding onto it, and it's moving you about 100 meters from where you were to begin with, further away.
Okay.
And you can hear voices on the boat. You can hear a radio calling and talking. You can hear somebody speaking to what sounds like a command center, but it's all in Spanish, so you don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna learn Spanish after this. All right, I put it on and then swim the fuck out of there because they're going away from me, and I'm going away from them.
Right, we're gonna make a. No, we're not even going to bother because that was a bad perception check. Okay, so you're backing away and you get to what you believe is a safe distance.
Yep. And then I go, boom.
The boat explodes. Meanwhile, Charlie, your boat's starting to sink.
I will just pet the gun one last time. Then go downstairs and grab Arthur by the scruff and drag him up.
Up the stairs. Up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs. The boat's
And the wound in my leg hasn't healed, I take it? Or I don't know how to heal.
Well, it's an aggravated level of damage, so you're going to need a willpower, a night of rest, and a blood point to heal that.
He's also got a thing around his neck, no doubt.
So you can't
like
heal
we had.
A thing around his neck? Oh,
yeah.
A thing?
Yeah.
He does not. Does he?
Doesn't he?
No,
he said.
I didn't.
Yeah, if I said so, he does. I don't remember what I said. Did I tell you that, Arthur? Do you have a...
I don't recall, but I don't know what it is that we would be talking about.
Well, if you don't know what it would be...
Well, Zahra noticed that she did. But I don't know about the others. I don't think you mentioned it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say you do.
Okay.
You have a necklace. It's been around your neck since you got here. Since you jumped out of the plane, you might not have noticed it immediately. You know, you had other clothes and things covering it, but you do have a necklace, a little glass vial. Seems like very solid. Well, it's metal and glass.
Yeah.
Is there any I might be asking a bit much, but is there any inflatable rafts?
Inflatable rafts.
Yeah.
Is there an inflatable raft? There is a container that once had an inflatable raft in it. But sadly, it is long gone. So you've heard the explosion in the distance, by the way. And Peter Wicks, you're going back to the boat. Now, Peter, you're noticing the boat's a little bit cockeyed now. It's beginning to sort of, one end of it's lower in the water than the other. It's not by much yet.
I get in the boat and get the maps and that together.
Yep.
And I get any equipment that'll be useful, any weapons, any ammunition.
Yep.
And I say, come on, we gotta go.
Can we get a perception
come on,
check
we
from
gotta
everybody?
We gotta beat the feet now.
Yeah, no water, aren't we? Last I checked.
Perception alertness, please.
Okay. Nope. -1. My eyes jam.
Your eyes jam. My eyes jam. That's the best line ever. 2 successes for Barry. How many did Jesse get? You got 2 as well.
2.
Okay. Yep. But your eyes jam.
I can't use them.
This is initially a hearing check, so maybe it's your ears that jam, but I'm not sure what your ears are jamming with. Why does Zahra not hear the sound of the helicopter returning?
I think I'm trying to like desperately trying to find something to abandon ship to.
Right.
I almost considered using that container to put Arthur in.
Right. I mean, you're amongst the reeds. You are about maybe 50 meters, or maybe even 30 to 50 meters to solid ground, so to speak. When I say solid, it's not that solid. It's muddy, but still.
Yeah, the thing is, he's covered in blood and shit. And if there's piranhas in the water, you're a tasty treat.
Could be. I mean,
So,
piranhas are unpredictable. They don't often do the things that you see them doing in movies and cartoons. They don't do that too often. They do it, but not all the time. But you don't know that. You probably think they're piranhas.
Yeah, so I instantly think...
You think they're going to just annihilate him.
I'm going to put you in the container.
So she puts Arthur...
In the container.
In the container. Okay, Arthur, do you struggle against this? You say anything?
No, I just look at the container and I'm like, all right.
Jojo's here. Hey.
And then I'll throw you overboard.
All right, so you put him in the container, you throw him in the water. Peter, what are you doing? You've gotten all the maps and stuff. You grab whatever you can out of the boat. So you've got a couple of floating plastic boxes at this point that you can push across the surface.
I push them along.
All right, so you're pushing them out of the river. And that's kind of the way that you're going. And as you're doing that, in the distance, you can hear the helicopter returning. And now you can see it come over the horizon, over the hills. The flashlight, the searchlight, flicking back and forth, scanning the trees, scanning the forest, scanning the river. Fairly systematically zigzagging now. At the point where you get to about maybe 300 meters from the boat, where that's just sunk, and now you're getting up onto the shore. I suppose it's not 300 meters. I said it was about 30 meters to the shore.
We're going to make sure to get up on the shore in jungle so we can go directly into jungle.
We'll call it 100 meters into the jungle. 100 meters into the jungle you get when you see the helicopter searchlights basically hitting the location of your not particularly well hidden boat. And then you see the helicopter circle the boat. And then I'll get more perception alertness checks, please. Because I just like perception alertness checks, mostly.
Oh, good. Okay. 0. Oh, also
-2 for Peter Wicks. And what did you get, Charlie?
0.
0. Okay. Arthur, it's all on you, and you're at -1.
0.
0. Okay. All right. The helicopter slowly, after a long moment of staying perfectly stationary, and the beams point directly down on roundabouts where the boat is, just next to the boat. The beam goes off, and the helicopter just flies off to the side.
Away from us? Or?
Yeah, it curves off towards the river and begins to follow the river south.
Well, for me, my excuse is I'm stuck in a metal tube bobbing in the bloody river without any real way for me to modify my perception. So
right.
I'm probably staring right at some muck, mire, reeds.
Right.
I will go back in and go and retrieve the bobbing thingy whose it was.
All right, so you drag him out of the river. You drag all your stuff up on the shore. You pulled it up into the forest, into the jungle now, and you're there amongst the reeds and the mud. And there's a couple of big trees around.
How heavy is this container?
Not very heavy, not really. I mean, it had a boat in it. My initial idea was that it was an inflatable boat, so it would be a fucking small container. I'm not sure how Arthur got into it, but Charlie said she puts them in the container. I was like, well, I guess that container was bigger than I thought it was. Not quite sure how that
works. Sorry, I'm not picking it out there.
Okay, right. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out of here now.
I'll climb out of the water too, as I imagine I just hopped it.
Yep.
Just jumped out and jumped into the water.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna push myself out of this tube. Just...
We could roll you.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Get off of me. Jesus. I can walk. Sort of.
Hey. Be nice to your sire.
Oh, it's right. It's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's your child, mommy girl. Okay. All right.
He's also very insolent, hurt, and has no idea what's going on.
Pump your blood. See if that works. Because I can't see how damaged he is properly.
Well, you're
not
up
in the dark.
You're up on the shore in the moonlight. Peter, do you have... let's have a quick look. You've got Auspex level 2, so you do actually have like aura perception. You can see how hurt he is by his aura. You've got heightened senses, so you can see some, ultraviolet and stuff like that.
I'll look at his aura.
Okay. I mean, just without making any checks, you get the gist that he's a human. Well, he's a vampire now. He's transitioning vampire.
Welcome to the family.
I'll sign to
Thank you, sir.
that he's a liability because he's going to be hungry soon.
So you signed that to Barry, to Peter Wicks. Okay, cool. So Peter, she said he's going to be a liability soon.
Well, we're going to have to find him some bodies. I get a feeling they'll come looking for us, though.
Yeah. Did you sign it, or did you say that?
I signed it. Oh, no, I say that.
Yeah.
Some kind of looking...
Still here. She can't talk. She can still hear.
We need some bodies. What do we need bodies for?
You need blood to live.
Well, yeah, I kind of got the gist of that.
Ouch. That's what you need the bodies for. Of course, your sire here would tell you that, if she could.
Yeah, well, it's got some complications here.
Yep. We'll just pump blood to your legs and see if that's gonna... That won't help, because it looks aggravated to me.
Yeah, it's aggravated.
Okay, we're just gonna have to take this first aid kit, which I remembered to grab, and you're gonna have to do the doctoring, Doc.
Not a problem. That is well within my abilities.
I'm gonna start walking off. Keeping an eye out for claymores, explosives,
All right.
Like
so you keep an eye out for tripwires and so on. Okay. And you're going to go
where
which
you going?
direction? You're going north, south, west, or east?
Where you going?
South. South.
Yes.
We're going south, aren't we? That's according to the map.
Well,
I don't know what south is. I do know the direction our boat was going, and I'm going to follow that direction.
Our boat was going south.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to continue walking south. Okay.
Yes.
Along the bank. Well, offshore, but along the edge of the river, maybe 100 feet away, 100 feet or meters away from the edge of the river.
Can you walk on that?
How far? 100 feet or 100 meters? Or another measurement entirely?
I don't know what feet is.
Well, 3 feet to the meter. Come on, you play D&D, you have to know what feet are.
Or you just need squares.
So 30 feet is like 10 meters.
Okay, well, you know what? Just to make this simple, I'll just trace the water's edge.
Trace the water's edge. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. That gets complicated because there's lots of big puddles in the mud and separate bits of water that are kind of split off depending on the levels of the river. Right now, the tide is quite high, and you can see the moon in the western horizon, towards the western horizon, presently. So you're moving through the mud and so on. Can you make a perception alertness check, please?
I was gonna say, could I do a roll using survival, whether it's wits or perception? just to identify the correct, like, as long as I know where the moon is, I know kind of what direction we're supposed to be going.
Right. You can
Just
do
the
that
one.
for sure.
So while Zara's looking at the river, I'm looking celestially.
Celestially. Okay, cool.
So, Doc, is she going the right way?
Give me a minute. I'm checking the skies. It's not as easy as you think, man.
A minute's all you got. They're gonna be here in no time flat if that copter says the boat was
Five
here.
5 successes.
5 successes. 5 successes. Okay, you're very aware of where you're going.
Well,
as I'm, yeah, she was right. She was right, and I'm just tying off the tourniquet and putting in the last of the first aid as I'm looking up at Peter. It's like, yeah, she was right.
Okay, you need a hand?
Just don't tell her.
Okay, so Zahra, you're heading south.
Yes.
Do you go anywhere near the boat wreckage before you start following the river, or do you go back there because that's where the river was first, or what?
I've abandoned the boat.
Okay, so you're just moving off.
Yeah.
Okay, and did you make a perception alertness check?
Yeah, I got 1.
Okay, you got 1 success. You hear a bird call in the trees back from where you came, and then you hear another bird respond to it. Can you make a wits and survival check, please?
Sure. 3.
You haven't heard that bird call before.
Do I know the direction of where that came from?
Came from somewhere back towards where the boat was.
Okay, I'll go back and I'll try and find it.
So you start circling back towards the boat.
Or find the one that was close to me. It was responding to someone else, right? Some other bird.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so I want to find the one that's closest to me.
Right. Well, they both sound like they're coming back from where the boat is. Maybe even one close to the boat and one further away from the boat.
Okay, Zara's just gonna look very. She'll stop and look very confused for a moment and just look around.
Okay.
We notice that she stopped.
Yes, you automatically notice Zahra has come to a full stop. Peter will notice this too.
I look at her aura.
Yeah, you can see concern raised in her aura.
Concern and confusion.
And I go to Arthur. Shh.
What are we shushing?
She's concerned about something. I think we should pay attention.
Do you want to make perception alertness checks, please? Everybody.
Do I make another one?
Yep.
Am I still -1?
How many? Yeah, no, you can be at 0 penalties now.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
What do we get?
2.
2 for you.
I got another 1.
You got another 1.
Yep.
Okay, and Peter Wicks, yours is coming up right now. I'm baking it as we speak. It's in the oven, and it's a 2. Peter and Zahra. What did you say you got?
Zahra got 1.
1.
And the other 2 got 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear a radio coming from the forest, from the jungle, from the north.
So behind us.
Yeah, because you're heading south, right? Yeah. And you are on the west bank, by the way, just to be clear.
On the west bank, going south. Okay.
So you're on the left of the river heading down.
Yep. And where did we see the outpost on the map? Was it on the
Far to
east
the
or west
south.
bank?
It was on the east bank, but the river curves there anyway.
Right, so we're actually on the exact opposite bank of where we wanted to be anyway.
Ultimately, but it's a long way to there.
Okay.
And you had a boat when you were talking about that stuff.
So we had options of locomotion.
Yeah.
I hit the dirt.
You hit the dirt.
I suck mud. Yeah, I cast the spell, find dirt.
Find dirt. Okay. Is that an action or a bonus action? All right, you hit the dirt. Boof. Barry, what are you doing?
Obfuscate.
Whoomp. Okay, so you're obfuscated. So he's hit the dirt. He's disappeared. Zahra, what do you do?
I shrug, get out my gun, and then start walking again.
Okay, which gun is this? Is this a Glock or is this an AK that you've picked up along the way?
Glock.
Okay, so you've got a Glock.
I've also got the crucifix on my back.
Right, big old wooden crucifix with a spike on it now. It's basically a stake. Okay, crucifix stake. This stake from hell. Or is it from heaven? One can't
Heaven.
tell. Yes. Yes. All right, so you've hit the ground. You've obfuscated. You ready your gun. As you ready your gun, make a perception check, please, Charlie. Are you stealthing, by the way, Charlie? You're being sneaky. You'd like to make a dex and stealth check for me.
Okay, so 1 perception and 3 dex and stealth.
3 dex and stealth. Okay. So the stealth check, that's good. You don't believe yourself to be revealed to anyone or anything at this point. Instead, with your 1 on your perception check, you see part of a humanoid figure standing among the trees about 30 meters from you, not all that far. Gun over shoulder, binoculars in hand, talking into a radio quietly in Spanish.
Oh, okay, well, I'm going to use celerity. Go over to him.
As you're getting there, you also see that there is a parachute rolled up by his feet.
Okay, I'll use that parachute to like strangle him a little.
Okay, so you're going to pick it up and unroll it to do that?
I mean, is it trailing behind him? Or
it's not trailing behind him. It's folded up. It's rolled up. He's put it away.
Mm-hmm.
He or she. So.
Right. Okay.
Tell me the things.
No, I won't undo it or anything. I think I'll just try and like choke him out.
Choke him out?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna make a strength and brawl check.
Yes. Yes.
And you're gonna use celerity to get to him, right?
Yep.
That's your plan.
Yeah.
With dex and brawl.
Was it dex or strength?
Sorry, strength and brawl.
Okay, cool.
My apologies.
That's all right. 3 successes.
3 successes. Oh, well. Okay, you get to choking him, and he gets his hands inside your arm, inside your wrist, and he's trying to pull your arm away. And he starts swearing and shouting, and the earphone drops out of his headset. The headset drops out of his ear, rather. It drops down by where your foot is in the mud. And he's shouting now. Help! Help! He's saying in Spanish, which is... I don't know how to say help in Spanish. Somebody help us.
Me neither. I will then take something. Now, I'm pretty sure like a couple of sessions ago I had like something around my neck. Like a scarf thing. I don't really... Oh no, I drew one on my character, right. Okay. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to just shove that in his mouth.
Okay, so you're trying to shove that in his mouth. Okay, and Peter, you're seeing Zahra run over to this guy, grab him, start trying to break his neck. Zahra. And he drops a headset on the ground next to him. And now she's trying to stuff a scarf in his mouth. What are you doing, Peter? Arthur, you've been dumped on the ground, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm still on the ground, yep.
Peter Wicks, talk to us.
Did any of the soldiers we searched have knives?
Yeah, they probably did have knives, yeah.
Okay, so with your permission, I would have taken one.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
I come up on the guy.
Alright.
That she's working with, and I
just put him down.
Just put him down.
Okay, so she's stuffing the thing in his mouth, and you're just basically repeatedly stabbing him in the back.
Yeah.
Until he dies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly get him over to Arthur.
Right, there's blood spilling out all over the place from the many stab wounds that you've just punctured him with. And you drag him over to Arthur, and blood is now spewing out all over Arthur. Arthur, you're probably going to make a self-control check.
Pour it onto him.
Self-control.
Self-control. All right. Look at this. They brought me lunch.
They bought you lunch.
I'm baby bread right now.
Self-control 2, 4, 1, and 6.
2.
So 0 successes.
Damn. Okay. Well, Arthur frenzies. He makes his first frenzy. Welcome to the Vampire Club, Arthur. You're now a vampire. That's when your teeth finally drop, and you just sink into this individual and drain them for all they're worth.
I re-obfuscate.
Okay. Nobody's going to stop Arthur from draining this individual, are they?
No, well, he's dead.
He's okay.
He's
Arthur,
not going to miss it.
What is your humanity, by the way, Arthur? I'm just curious.
My humanity is
6.
6, yes.
I remember you said it in the past.
6 humanity? Sounds right. I vaguely recall that. No?
Yes, 6. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a corpse here.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's also his first kill. I'm just curious to see whether he has any pangs of guilt at all about that. So we might just make a conscience check.
In a frenzied state.
Well, it will be for after the frenzy. It'd be when you come out of the frenzy. You would either feel guilty or not. And it may be irrational guilt, too. I mean, this person is clearly was out to kill you, but, you killed this person. And you're a doctor.
Yeah.
No, he was dead before.
Well, he's a scientist. That doesn't...
the conscious check, 10 and a 7.
10 and a 7? Okay. He will eventually feel quite guilty about it, I suspect. And maintain his humanity.
Yeah, the one thing about Arthur, though, is that, and as we said before, it's like what's the one person that he always was going to, was always going to go for, who was the one person, the individual that all this was for? Was it his family? Was it his dog? No, it's me. So eventually, yeah, he will feel bad about it, but ultimately, I think he'll get over it pretty quickly.
Fair enough. Okay, so, he's down. And you've drained him. And everybody's gone quiet.
Is that headset still around?
It's on the floor next to you.
I pick it up and I
can hear...
put it in Arthur's ear.
Okay. You put it in Arthur's ear. All right. So Arthur, amidst all this pain and suffering that you're undergoing, and now the taste of vitae in your mouth for the first time, human blood, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
And it is the most fulfilling and satisfying experience of your life until now. This is the moment, it's like the first orgasm you ever had, all over again, magnified 100 times, 1,000 times. And then suddenly in the midst of this, all of this Spanish, and you're hearing names, words, something about some sort of patrol, somebody down, alerts, search the grid, we need more backup.
Well, the first thing I do is, even though I did hear that, I just kind of rip it out of my head, because it's just like it's an invading force at that moment in time.
Right.
Yeah. What the hell?
And of course, you're translating all of that from Spanish through Latin, so because you don't speak Spanish. So yeah,
just very discordant.
Yeah,
I'm just like, you know, snapping quite aggressively, like, hurry up. You probably would have been able to tell that she is quite forceful. She's not going to wait for you to sort out your shit. She's very much like, you need to move through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give you a look, like a little bit of a growl.
Good. I walk away.
all right. Can I get perception and alertness checks, please?
A lot of noise outside.
Peter used to bounty hunt. Now he's hunting for them. He needs feeding too.
Right. So Peter's on the prowl. He's spent some blood.
5 successes.
5 successes. Wow, okay. Peter, you get 2 successes. And Charlie, what did you get?
I got 1.
1, okay. Charlie, I think Zahra notices Peter noticing Arthur noticing something in the water.
Wait, I don't know if I could notice what Peter is seeing. Isn't he obfuscated?
That's true, he's obfuscated. So then you notice Arthur as well. So you and Peter both notice Arthur. Arthur, you're looking over in the water and you can see something floating across the water, something long, low, dark. Could be a boat, could be a piece of a boat, could be some wreckage, could be... no.
I start sounding like, well, 1, what's going on? What are you seeing? And 2, like, it's getting close to that time, bedtime.
The boat or whatever it is appears to be, spinning out of control in the river current. It's not under power, or it could be a log too, or a crocodile. Do they have crocodiles here? Alligators?
Gators.
Gators. Yeah.
Could I do an intelligence plus survival to appropriately identify it if it is a creature of some sort?
Yeah, you can make a perception and survival check.
Perception and survival, okay. Perception. Survival. 2 successes.
You don't think it's a creature, you think it might be some sort of vessel, maybe broken.
Possibly a boat?
Possibly a boat, yeah.
In fact, well, as best I can move with the aggravated wound on my leg, I'm going to start moving toward it.
Okay, so you start moving down the bank towards the water.
Yeah.
Into the reeds. Peter, what are you doing while Arthur does that? And then, of course, Zahra, what are you doing?
I'm following him.
Okay. Peter?
I'm following them, but cautiously.
Cautiously, okay, cool.
And unfortunately, all I saw was Zahra just waving her hands again, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm already pissed at her for shoving this thing in my ear. So,
as you get closer, you see that it is in fact it is a boat. It's like a dinghy type of boat, a slim, narrow, skinny one, more like a canoe, but about the length of a long dinghy. It's full of big, chunky bullet holes. It's half sunk, and there's 3 corpses laying in it, and it's just spinning in the water. Kind of gets caught up on the reeds, in fact.
How far away from where I am if I go like ankle deep in the water?
From ankle deep, you'd be looking at 30 meters. Because of the mud and shit. To get to anything requires walking up to your shoulders in water. Really, it gets that deep that quickly. And then it's very uneven. as well.
I kind of just look around, and do I see Peter anywhere?
Peter's, I'm guessing, obfuscated.
Still?
Yep.
Zahra is following.
Oh, yeah. Fucking thing.
Okay, so you're wobbling down the bank into the water. Yeah. You see a stick actually that looks like it could be used as a crutch.
Done.
All right. So you grab that and you start using that as a crutch to get down closer to the river. And as you get to the side of the boat, you realize that one of the individuals in the back of the boat is still alive, but they're dying. They've been
It's noticeably
50 caliber machine gun from a helicopter. You're thinking the angles of the bullet holes in the boat.
Is this like a civilian boat?
Yeah. It's like a fishing boat. It's
okay,
like
right, fish boat.
From a village or something.
When I get closer, do I see them too?
Yep, you see all of the same things. Yep.
I'll like go to bite my wrist. And if someone wants to do the job for me. I'm not gonna.
not really.
You know.
You're really gonna. All right.
I mean, it's gonna ghoul them, right? Do I know it's gonna ghoul them?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so you ghoul this individual. Okay,
Yes.
and
hop up and then ghoul him. Bam.
He begins to suck as much blood as he can out of you, and it begins to heal his very wounded body. And you're watching as the bones and skin and flesh knits itself back together, and ejects the leftover shrapnel from the casings of the round that went through him. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but bits of metal come out of his skin and drop away as the flesh seals up behind it. And he begins to sit up, and he's looking at you in a fevered sweat. You see this red blood cross on his forehead.
I lick it.
Okay. You lick it away. It tastes like his blood, you think. It's human blood. Probably a few hours old, to be fair. It was dry at some point.
Did it look like he took to the wrist far too easily and frantically? Or was there even a modicum of hesitation?
Good question. He didn't know what was going on until the blood was in his mouth. He really didn't have a choice. And you think by the time he realized what was going on, it was sort of too late. He was already drinking it, and it was already having its effects.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So literally, like giving a completely dehydrated individual a glass of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of glasses of water.
Mine's
I try and sign, even though Arthur's not good at reading what I have to say. We can use him to help us hide ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, right, yeah.
I pop up again and I go, I know Pascal. She's saying we can use
Peter! Oh, there's Peter.
She's saying we can use him to help us.
Help us how? Do we need more ghouls?
He can do the stuff in the daytime that we can't. He can dig our holes when we need our holes dug and bury us.
That's right. Sunlight is not my friend anymore.
No. And if you want to prove it, you can. But I wouldn't.
I'd be interested to see what the effect is, but that's coming from a purely scientific perspective.
Let me put it this way. I'll get you an ashtray. Okay.
Gotcha.
Let's get going.
All right, where are you going?
Apparently, we're going south.
Okay, so you're still heading south.
To be fair, it's been 10 hours.
Yep.
Right. Probably. It's been a while.
It's
so
getting
we
close to
need
dawn. Yeah, it is. It's
we
like
need to bury ourselves.
you've got about an
and
hour
immediately.
to an hour and a half before the sun rises. You
And that's
suspect.
what I insist we do.
Okay, so you insist upon this by sign language, which Peter you understand, but Arthur does not.
Okay, she wants to get buried, and I don't blame her. He nodded his head.
I
All
point
right.
to Arthur and be like,
Would we have already started seeing a false dawn at this point?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the light is just beginning to creep over the horizon, just the very slightest halo.
I kind of point. Yeah, I think you're right.
You've got celerity. Start digging.
well, yeah, I'll do my best.
So where are you going to dig exactly? Because right now you're on the edge of a very muddy, wet environment, on the edge of a river in the jungle.
You know, we could use that old fishing boat. It's already been hit, and nobody'd be interested in that.
Thinking exactly the same thing. We pull that boat up on the shore. We cover it up with whatever bracken we can find, and we're not going to be on the ground, but at least hopefully protected. As long as your new boyfriend over here doesn't flip it.
I give my gun to the new guy, whatever his name is. I call him new guy.
The ghoul.
He's not a ghoul anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, the new guy, the ghoul.
Oh, the ghoul, yes.
Right, okay, so you're giving them the gun. So, just to be clear, he's woken up in the boat. You're giving him blood. He's woken up in the boat. And he's looking at you. And he crosses himself. And he's looking around at the night sky. And you're talking about the dawn coming in English, which he doesn't clearly understand. He just sits there silently. And he looks down at the holes in his clothes. And the blood on his clothes. And the blood in the boat. And the dead
Arthur,
corpses.
can you speak to this dude?
He looks at the corpse of his friend and the holes in the boat itself, and he looks up at you guys, and he looks at whoever's looking at him right now. Who's looking at him?
I will be.
Okay.
Both Arthur and I will be.
All right, and Arthur, right now, you look worse for wear, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you look a bit more like he does. So he's going to assume that Zahra is the leader here, and
Zahra.
so Zahra, he turns to you, Zahra, and he looks up at you and he just says, "Diablo."
I take off the crucifix. And I kiss it.
He looks pretty concerned. He looks skeptical.
Llame hombre ne diablo.
He looks over at you. Doesn't say anything. He looks over at the water for a moment.
And as she's holding up the cross, I, Christa.
Uh-huh. You're saying that she's Christ.
But I do it in such a way that I'm just like,
Ta-da! It's like, and for only $9.95.
exactly.
And steak knives. Well, you don't get any because we don't do that kind of commercial here. Okay, so you're gonna make a performance and charisma check.
That's not good.
Oh no, not good.
Well, that's one die.
That's one success
Oh
or
my
one
God,
dice, one
no,
die.
one
No, it is
dice.
a die.
A dice.
That is a 4. It is a not success.
It's not a success.
So I do jazz hands. It's pretty much all he gets.
He kicks you.
I laugh.
You can make a dex and dodge check.
I laugh in silence.
But he has 2 successes on his kick.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, well, you partially block his kick, but he kicks you in the shins. It's he meant to kick you in the ribs, but you managed to avoid that somehow. He groans as the last bits of his body begin knitting together, or finish knitting together, I should say.
No muy moleste.
He looks down at the wounds and he looks back up at you, Zahra. He says a bunch of stuff in Spanish.
Anything close to English?
I tell you what, I can use Google Translate to figure out what he says to you.
Oh, it's gonna be so borked.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's only Vampire the Masquerade.
And if I'm doing a translation from Latin, it's going to be a fairly dirty Spanish translation anyway. So.
Right, true that. I should get you to translate what I translate. It's a letter.
Let's play a game of telephone.
Yeah, right. Google Translate telephone.
Yeah.
Well, while they're trying to talk to this guy,
Yep.
Peter's going to be trying to seal up places that the sun can get in this boat and all this sort of stuff. And making a place for them to sleep.
Okay.
I will definitely try to help out at that point in time because we need to dump out the corpses. We need to drag the boat up onto shore. And I don't believe Peter has potence, does he?
Peter, does Peter have potence? Let me double check that for you. Peter Wicks. He might have like a dot of it. Yes, he does. He has 1 dot of potence.
Okay, so we won't really need my help for too long, but I can multitask.
Okay, so you're building a shelter out of this boat, right? That's
Yes.
the gist of it. So those of those of you that want to participate in the building of this shelter shall roll a wits and survival check, please.
I'm gonna draw a picture for this dude. Trying to portray, like, being able to go, for him to be able to go back. That's not right. Okay, so what I'm gonna draw is could be a story of like him helping us, or him looking after us when the sun is up, and then after he can go home to his family, and there's a picture of him with like his kids and stuff or whatever.
So while you're drawing this series of immaculate paintings, the sun comes up and you will die.
Sure, it's not that bad.
Um,
It's this quick sketch.
So how many frames and what does each frame have in it? First
okay,
frame is
2 frames. So one is he's looking after us.
how do we know he's looking after us? What in the picture shows that he's looking after you?
He is standing. He looks like he's standing guard.
He looks like he's standing guard.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's standing there with his gun, with the gun I gave him.
So he doesn't just look like he's standing over your bodies and he's
where-
killed you or something like that.
There's like our setup, the boats and stuff. And the second one is, so this will be during nighttime where there's a moon in the sky, and he'll be at home with his kids and his wife.
Okay, so can you make a
Oh my god.
charisma and crafts
Okay.
check,
Charisma
please?
craft.
I think you're going to need some fairly high successes on this.
Okay. Charisma and craft.
Would it help if I got a sock puppet?
2.
2 successes. Okay.
I didn't turn this light on, so all washed out. Oh well.
A vampire all washed out.
Yep.
I think the main issue is that he isn't really looking at the pictures properly. Everything is too new and freaky for him right now. He sees the pictures and is like, you know, he's saying something in Spanish that Arthur, you kind of gather. He's asking you, what the fuck? What are these pictures? What is this? Is this kindergarten? What are you doing? Tell me what you want.
Look, Arthur, come on.
In very gross Spanish, I tried to explain to him, you look after... you are going to look after us while we sleep. And I do that, and then I said very dirty Spanish.
All right, you want to make a wits and linguistics check, please. Difficulty might be 8. You might need. You need 2 successes.
It's so tricky. That's so tricky.
Well, you know, there you go. I got 3 successes.
You got 2 successes. Okay.
3 in fact.
3 successes. Okay. And his response is why?
Because I'm a cunning linguist. No, don't ask why.
His response is, why should I do this thing?
Because we saved his motherfucking life and I can kill him in an instant, but don't tell him that part.
I think you got the gist of it, Peter. Because if you do, we'll let you live. I mean, it just comes down to that. It's a brass tacks.
Okay. Can you make a charisma and empathy check?
He's just not good at this stuff.
Unless you would rather this was an intimidation check.
It doesn't matter. It'll be the same roll either way.
Equally bad. Okay.
One success.
1 success. Barry, is Peter there?
Yes, he is.
Is he obfuscated though? He's not. 'Cause he just spoke to Zahra.
He's somebody else.
He is somebody else. So he looks like what? Who?
Oh, his latest one is the priest.
Right. Okay. So he looks like the priest now. Okay. So he appears and looks like the priest. Okay. As soon as you appear looking like the priest, this guy turns to you. He starts talking to you, Frate Miguel, and he starts blabbering away in Spanish at you, which of course you don't understand.
It'd have to be the father. It would have to be Padre.
Arthur, of course, you can sort of understand some of what he's saying. He's like trying to get the father to straighten things up and tell him that he says that Commander Esteban has done this thing. He's shot up their village, something like that. You're hearing little fragments of something like that. Father, you have to save us. You know, why are you not doing anything? Why are you letting these devils ravage us?
I will repeat what he's saying, pretty much verbatim, as close as I possibly can.
Yeah, it's very broken, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him if there are any others trying to stop these people.
You ask him that?
No,
I know you're asking him to ask him. I'm asking Arthur if he asks him that.
Yes.
Yeah. Arthur?
Who are we talking about, Peter? Like, who's attacking who?
Just ask them if he's expecting a priest, by what you tell me, to solve his problem.
Well,
are there any other priests trying to solve their problem?
Blah.
Okay. You want to make a wits and linguistics check.
There we go. 0.
He's like, por favor?
Yeah.
Don't mind him. He's from Barcelona.
I'm gonna try a different angle. It's who's attacking?
Who is attacking? Okay. That's simpler. You can make another linguistics check. What's the linguistics?
3 successes on that one.
3 successes. He looks at you. He says, like you are.
So apparently they're being attacked by other vampires. Is what's going on.
You hear Diablo, monsters.
Yeah, Diablo, yeah.
He doesn't clarify. He doesn't say vampire at any time. He doesn't use that term.
Yeah.
He doesn't use any terms that reflect Cainite linguistics or language or lexicon.
Ask him if
devils.
anybody is trying to stop these, like we are. Anybody trying to stop them? Because if we
Are
can
there
find,
are there any other Diablo trying to stop them?
So you want to know if there's any more devils trying to stop the devils? Is that what you're asking?
no,
Yes.
not Diablos. It's anybody, anything, butcher, candlestick maker, anybody trying to stop them. Yeah.
Is there anyone trying to prevent or stop this fight?
All right, let's roll your linguistics again. Wits and linguistics. It's going to be this way. Sorry.
0. Nah.
Oh,
Por favor.
Yeah, but it's just it's too much of a language barrier here. I'm not making any headway.
I will message. Maybe we should just send him home. He might end up making things worse by being around. We could just have this wreckage here.
Yeah, well, we're not getting anywhere, and the sun's coming up. Well, he's your ghoul, so
I'm
gonna go.
Can I get perception awareness checks from you guys?
Okay. 1.
1 for you.
Perception alertness. 4 successes.
Nice. 2 successes for Peter. So to a lesser or more or lesser extent, as the sky begins to lighten, you can see that little bit further into the mist of the forest and the river now. Just the tiniest amount of light. And you can see silhouettes gathered around the wreckage of the boat that you left behind. They look like soldiers with assault weapons and gear. They look quite organized. They look like they're beginning to fan out.
So they're to the west of us, I guess, if we're on the eastern shore.
They are...
No, sorry, the other way.
They are north of you, and they are... Yeah, they're really just north of you, actually. Because you are along the edge of the river, right? And they are also along the edge of the river, so they're basically north of you.
Zahra has an idea. She starts signaling, we should sink this, and we can stay in the water. And send this guy home. Not that he's going to make it much. He's not going to make it very far.
I have no idea what she's saying, and I'm just I'm pointing at the soldiers.
Okay, so
Peter. She's saying we better let him go and sink this boat, and we can get in the water. The boat.
Yeah, be under the water. Well, under the boat, under the water.
Because if the boat is sunk, they're not going to check it.
And what if at some time during the day we're going to get nibbles at the ankle?
It's a risk.
Hope the boat's gonna help us.
We've seen boa constrictors. We've seen piranhas. What else? We don't know what else is in there. We could wake up with half a body. Like all was left is a fucking torso.
We can heal it. Punch you in the face.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Just buffs you in the face. Wow.
He says,
okay.
we can heal it, but the thing is, we can't fight that many men.
Yeah.
We haven't got time to fight that many men. So
can we not actually go deep into the forest, maybe, and I don't know, find some vines, some leaves, something? I'd rather not be in the water.
I mean, you will have realized, I guess, at this point that this wrecked boat, you could drag it out of here. You could carry it. One or two people could probably carry it, if not drag it. So you could turn it upside down and use it as cover, but it does have holes in it. But you could plug those holes with mud or grass or, somebody's teeth.
Yeah.
And while Peter was doing that, he was preparing it. I was just saying that even if we take it into the forest, we don't have a lot of time to take it in there, meaning that they are going to be quite close to us anyway.
Well, should I get off the pod at this point? I'm picking up the boat. I'm not to Peter to pick up the other end.
I pick it up.
Okay.
I'm not going in the fucking water.
You've been vetoed.
Yeah, I'll follow him. Okay.
Veto. Okay, so they drag the boat out of the water, and your new friend stands there up to his waist in the water as you drag the boat out.
I just point to him to piss off.
He runs. As soon as he can get out of the water, he just starts running.
Okay, right.
All right, look at that. Somebody who actually understands sign language.
About a minute later, you hear a rifle crack.
That's unfortunate.
So I was thinking, I kind of saw that coming.
Oh well. Let's make some tracks.
All right, so you make tracks. You drag the boat up off the bank up into solid ground, up onto a hill. Anyway, there's a tree there. It's still muddy and wet and damp, and there are still creatures moving around in the forest. At one point, you've seen a warthog, like a boar kind of thing, digging a hole a bit further out into the forest. But you get to a tidy little location. It's sort of in a hollow where it can't be seen from any direction very easily, and there's cover from branches and trees and jungle and rocks and such. And you place the boat in there. Who's doing the? Who would like to make the wits and survival check to stealth the boat location?
It's a 5 dice for me. Anybody have anything higher than that?
I'll tell you what Barry has for wits and survival. You would have 3, 4. So you've got the best dice for it, Arthur Crane.
Yeah, I've got 4 too.
Okay. Well, here goes. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. All right. So you place the boat in there and you hop in for the day, I assume.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Hope this works.
And I will request,
Yeah.
because I am doing my nature willpower at some point, if possible.
All right.
I've been doing a lot of survivalist stuff. Just saying.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you guys all eventually collapse as the sun rises, and you're all hidden inside this upturned boat in the grass among the trees, hidden up in the woods. The day passes.
Spend a
Begin to wake
blood
up.
point.
Blood point and a willpower point for aggravated damage.
Which is why I was hoping I'd get 1 back.
What's the conditions of your willpower again?
Survivor and Fatalist.
And Fatalist. Yeah, okay. You can have willpower back. Right. So you have begun to wake up. You're inside this very dark underside of a boat. There's a number of mosquitoes flying around you inside this underside of a boat, buzzing in your face, landing on you. Creepy crawlies.
Why would they see us as anything?
Why would they? Who knows?
We do not have the. Oh well, we do have blood. I mean, our blood's amazing. So yeah, I get it.
And we are dead.
We're gonna have all these like mosquito ghouls.
We are dead.
They just follow you around in a swarm.
Yeah.
And you're like, bite that guy, bite that guy.
It's so funny. Okay.
Well, extricate.
When I get up and out, and once
Somebody
I see Arthur, I'm
lifts-
gonna be like, just looking at you suspiciously. I'm not suspicious. I'm just looking at you, as such.
So I'm like patting down my face, trying to get rid of the creepy crawlies and everything else. What? Yeah.
I don't know. Ask her.
I can't ask her. I mean, she's just gonna go wave her hands around, and I don't understand a fucking what she says.
She can hear you. I'll tell you what. You understand that?
I know that. That's pretty universal. Do I feel any better?
Yes, you do feel considerably better. I mean, you're a proper vampire now. Your transition is complete. You feel amazing, actually. And you've healed the aggravated damage. Do you have any other aggravated damage? No, you shouldn't.
That was the only one.
Because you wouldn't be able to have had aggravated damage until then. Okay, so then
one thing I'd like to ask is, like when there's new vampires, they will normally get taught, like disciplines and stuff.
Yeah.
Zahra could be fucked. So does he like spontaneously spawn them, or could he like pick them up from Peter or something?
I think there's different ways that it might occur, depending on what. I mean, yeah, for sure. Which disciplines are you starting
perhaps
with?
all my like beating on him would give him a fortitude point, because I have fortitude.
Yeah, I think fortitude is something that's easily developed by itself, and you've already been shot a number of times. You had a 50 caliber wound from a gun, so you can have your dot and fortitude for free. What other disciplines are you looking at, Arthur?
Everything was dumped into thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy, okay.
I don't have any thaumaturgy.
I think that seeing as you have not an aspiration, but and also because of your rare blood business that we have discussed, there might be a latent trigger that sets off your first level of thaumaturgy, but you will still need to discover it in-game through the story somehow. It doesn't, you don't know you have this power.
No.
What is your other discipline? That was it. That's it. That's just thaumaturgy. And
all 4 points was dumped into thaumaturgy.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you a free fortitude to go with that, as I
said.
What was that? Sorry.
Oh, my other character. It's what I did with her.
Thaumaturgy. Okay. Cool. All right. So you're still underneath this boat at this point. Nobody has lifted it, moved it.
I did say I lifted it slowly.
Oh, you lift it slowly. Okay. So you peek outside, and you can hear the sound of this warthog in the distance. Snorting around, snurfling, digging up an anthill or something, perhaps.
Well, as long as it leaves us alone.
So far, so good. Oof, it's hot where I am right now, I'd just like to say. It's monsterly hot.
We'll get rid of the boat, and Well, Zahra's just gonna
No,
move
keep the
on.
boat with
So-
us.
When you say get rid, okay.
Just like
What are you doing
lift
with
it up and
Okay,
get out.
so you get out
underneath
from
it.
under the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't get rid of it, destroy it, burn it.
No.
Okay,
No.
cool. All right, so you're out of the boat. You're standing up or kneeling or whatever. You're underneath a big tree, by the way, at the top of this hill.
Kneeling.
Okay. You can see down onto the river from here, and obviously it's nighttime because you're vampires. But you do feel refreshed and better, except for your lack of 1 blood point that you will have spent overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's put our stuff in the boat so we can use it as a carrying tool as well.
Now this boat, I mean, it's good for carrying stuff over land, but it will most likely sink in the water.
Oh, we'll plug it up at some point. Because there must be lots of things we can plug it up with.
Yeah, mud and reeds and stuff like that.
Yeah. All that.
Yeah, you could do that. All right.
Peter will be looking out for that kind of stuff.
In the distance, you can hear a patrol boat cruising down the river.
Oh, well, we'll just let that cruise first.
You can also hear the sound of somebody speaking over a megaphone. Very loudly, echoing.
What are they saying?
Arthur, you can make a wits and linguistics check, please.
That's the wrong one. Linguistics. Why do you not? There it is. 2.
What you can gather, Arthur, is something about do not let these strangers in your houses, do not let anyone you do not know anywhere near your crops, your families, your wives, your children. These outsiders must be reported immediately to the authorities. Go to your local church or the police as soon as you have, if you have any contact with these outsiders. They are dangerous enemies. They have the mark of the beast upon them. They bring the apocalypse.
Good grief. These people really don't like a kind. I just relay. Well, I mean, if this is some sort of test, I don't know what it is that we're supposed to be doing other than just getting the F out of this place. It's very, very obvious that they don't want us here. I don't want to be here. We need to get out, and I think the airport is the best place to go.
I find that you complain too much, and then I continue. Like, I look for the way that we were.
Does anybody here know how
walking.
Does anybody here know how to fly a plane?
I have drive.
No specialties in piloting, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Okay.
I used to know somebody who could fly. I wish she was here now.
Well, I'm sure we can probably persuade somebody.
From what you're telling us, we don't have a fan club here.
No, we do not have a fan club. In fact, it's pretty much shoot on sight.
Oh, there was a thing that happened a little bit earlier, which I didn't respond properly to. Somebody, I think, asked a question about... was it about priests or something? Did somebody ask something about priests? No?
Yeah, Peter was... Well, we were trying to relay and understand whether or not, like, are the priests part of the force that are fighting against
right
Diablo?
For or against. Okay. Well, I will get you to make your linguistics check again, just to see how well his answer would have translated, and I'll see if I can give you some information on that matter.
Nope.
None?
None.
No successes.
On this one piece of information, we've tried 3 ways from Sunday.
No.
Just can't I?
The
No.
dice have spoken.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so you've woken up, you're out, you've upturned your boat, you're by yourselves, you're on a hill, you can see the river, a patrol boat slowly goes past, it goes out of sight again. In the distance on the other side of the river, you can see the searchlight of a helicopter, but you can barely hear it. It's like maybe a mile away. Perhaps it's down one of the estuaries.
Well,
What? East, west, or south?
The helicopter?
Yes,
It's northeast of you.
northeast.
behind us.
So we'll keep going south, I suppose.
All right.
Shall we keep going south?
Zara's already headed off.
Zara's
Yeah, she's already
headed off.
started watching.
She's
All right,
about,
Zara. Can you make a
she's
perception
about
alertness
4
check,
minutes
Zara?
ahead of you guys.
Zara, you're making a
Perception?
perception alertness check, yeah.
No.
No? Okay, never mind.
Can I make a stealth check?
You can make a stealth check for sure.
Nice.
Who's behind Zara and how far?
3.
I kind of chase after Zara for a bit.
Okay.
I chase after her.
You catch
I
up
tap
with
her-
her.
Skating, you'll never find me.
If you were
Oh, yeah.
running,
I'm just kidding.
then I am running because we're both holding the damn boat.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
running with the boat. Okay, and you're using the boat to carry your stuff at this point.
Some of the stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Not all of it.
So you're trotting along with the boat, carrying stuff. Zara's
Yeah.
walking without the boat. She's just walking. She went up
Stealthily.
ahead stealthily. So stealthily that they don't know where you are. Like if you slipped off the path or if you disappeared into the forest or you expect
I
that they
just
still
went
know where
south.
you are.
And I expected everyone to follow after me, but they started talking.
Right.
So
Okay.
they're about 4 minutes behind me.
Okay, so a few moments back, they're a few meters behind you. Okay. Well, you crest this hill, and you're still looking around at the floor where you're going, being stealthy. However, the other two of you can make perception and alertness checks.
Total of 3.
Total of 3. That's very good. And Barry, your perception awareness check is going to be. That is also 3. Well, Zahra must be looking in the wrong direction because she doesn't see the headlights of what must be a truck or a vehicle or something coming along a road that you can now kind of just begin to make out because of the sweep of the headlights as this truck bends and winds through the hills just back from the river, a couple of 100 meters back from the river. You can see a covered army wagon or army van truck. Looks old. It's not modern.
So just as we crest the hill, we still haven't seen Zahra, but we can see.
Oh, you can see Zahra. She's just ahead of you.
Okay.
She's
And is she heading towards it?
No. She's heading along the side of the river. This is half a
Good.
kilometer off to your right.
Good.
She
good.
just hasn't seen it, that's all, because she's facing the wrong direction.
Zahra! Oh, damn.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'd say a vehicle down there is going to be a whole lot better than used to us than a boat full of holes.
It's got soldiers in it. Can you fight them all?
I don't know yet.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were Rambo. Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. Well, yeah, that was very, very heroic of me. But what I'm saying is, I have absolutely no idea of what this vampiric body can do at this point. I know you can. You got some chops. I've seen you kick some serious ass. But if we've got a gun, I am more than happy to use the gun. I'm far better at shooting than I am at fisticuffs.
The truck passes out through the trees and out of sight over another hill.
God
into
damn
the
it.
next valley. But now you know there is a road there.
There's a road.
Apparently, it's passable, and apparently vehicles still use it.
And apparently, military vehicles still use it.
Well, we should get one of those vehicles.
Okay, Rambo. Let's do that.
All right. So, do you guys what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I
I
catch
grab-
it. Oh,
Sorry, I'm gonna grab one of the
you
AKs
first.
out of the boat.
AK, all right.
Yeah,
Do a
man.
quick check.
Yep.
Check the
Ammunition.
breech.
Yep.
Check the magazine.
At this point, the boat's dragging, because to do that, he would have had to use
Right.
both.
Just put it down. And so, what? You're still dragging it while?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So you continue to drag the broken boat, the fishing boat, up the hill now,
Arthur,
or down into the next valley.
give me a hand.
Yep. I got it. There you go. So I was just checking the AK. Throw it over my shoulder.
All right. Anybody else getting a gun from the boat or anything, or doing anything like that? No.
Arthur, let's stop.
Okay.
Zahra.
My perception's really shit, okay? Give me a break.
Zahra.
Where the hell is she? I thought it was like a second ago when we came over the hill.
Okay, I got one. That's good enough. Right.
So what's happening, Zahra?
I
Zahra.
rolled a perception to see if I could hear him
Yeah.
whisper yelling to me.
Whisper yelling.
So,
Zahra.
so I turn and look at him.
You'll need a gun. You'll need a...
I've got another.
Okay. Stay
She's got a gun.
closer.
All right. So
You might
you've-
walk into something.
So
I say,
Zara's
hurry up.
got a Glock. Arthur's got an AK. Peter has.
We've stopped. I said stop, and I'm putting an AK over my shoulder and a
You've still
Glock
got- okay, so you've still got the Glock from before.
and
that's
a
right.
knife.
And a knife. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Nobody ended up taking the grenades from the boat. That's sad. Never mind. All right. So you've got these things, and what do you do with them?
Keep
I'm gonna burst
going.
the. Yeah, we're gonna go to the road. Is honestly what I'm saying. We need to get to the road. We need to be able to see what kind of vehicles are coming and going.
All right. So you.
See if there's some.
You're leaving
I'll take the
river.
grenades, Russell.
You're gonna go back for the grenades? Too late
No,
now.
didn't we bring them with us?
Nobody said anything about
Oh.
taking the grenades out of the box where the C4 was.
Yeah, well, I had the C4, so I'm
You did get the
assuming we
C4, but you'd used the
Yep.
C4 specifically at the time. You had a job
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Then the boat sank.
And then the boat
Okay.
sank, so nobody went back and got the grenades.
Okay, all right then.
Sorry about that. So you guys are leaving the river bank and heading parallel to that about half a mile to where the road is. So you're going to travel through the jungle to get to the road on an upward slope coming up out of the river, out of the marshes, out of the nasty swamp, and up onto more drier land and more solid earth. The jungle is still pretty overgrown. And in places it kind of curves over the road, causing like tangled tunnels where the road travels through the trees, almost like archways in places. Yes.
I personally don't think we should go through the road. I think we should be near the road, but not on the actual road.
Okay,
No,
well,
no,
you-
absolutely. We're not gonna go right on the road.
Yeah, so you're getting close to the edge of the road now. Now, to be fair, your side of the road, there is a embankment that goes up to the road. Then there is the flat-ish road with a bit of a curved cant on it to let the water off it. And then on the other side, this red mud rising about 30 feet, fairly vertically, like a mud, what's the word, clay, red clay cliff on the other side of the road that goes up higher. So in profile, if the river is here, it gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and then there's the road, and then there's like a cliff. Hard to explain. You get the gist of it though, I think? Yeah.
That gist. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any location that is more obvious than another that we could set up some sort of either an ambush or a tight corner on the road, or?
If you were prepared to walk out and cross the road, you think that you might be able to find a place to climb up above the road on the other side of the road, looking down onto the road rather than up onto the road, which will give you better visibility, more cover, and much more advanced warning for anybody approaching. but you will have to take the risk and cross the road and hope that nobody's on the road when you're crossing it, which I think you've got enough visibility to kind of tell there's probably nobody watching unless they really went out of their way.
Peter, could you make that climb?
You think you could?
I think I could. Why? What's in your head?
I'm thinking we get somebody does a little bit of Overwatch, and while you're watching out, we can actually make a move and climb up next to you. But right now, we have absolutely no visibility about what's coming and going. But that looks like a good spot right there. And if you can make that climb, so I think you can also like camouflage yourself or something.
Oh, pretty much. Okay, camouflage he does.
Alright, so with your obfuscate and your climbing check, which is strength and athletics, I rolled for you 2 10s and no other successes, but that's alright. 2 10s is pretty good. So you cross the road and you climb up and around this rock and red clay escarpment that overlooks the road. And as you get up there, 3 things. But we're going to make a perception check to see that you notice all of those things. Perception alertness. Well, you get 1 success. You see from where you are, you can see further down the river than ever before, and you can see in the far distance, and I mean the far distance, right on the edge of the horizon, coming over the edge of the horizon, city lights. Not a big city. In fact, it might not even be a city, it might be more like a town. But electric lights, nonetheless. The first sign of civilization that you've seen in about 2 or 3 days. You can see the road heading off to the north and to the south. From where you are, you can see that it wobbles in and out from the river, bouncing between the river and the mountain. Over
any military, anything from any direction.
Any vehicles at this point? You don't immediately see anything, but if you hang out here, you might.
I'll hang out.
It's definitely a good spot to hang out. What are the other 2 doing in the meantime?
I'm looking up to where I think Peter would be and just waiting for any sort of signal.
Okay. Peter, you can see Arthur waiting for a signal.
I reappear.
Yep.
And how can I signal him?
You could wave.
I wave my arms in hopes that he sees them.
Alright, well if you're unobfuscated for that brief moment, he will probably see you, yes. Okay.
Then I go back to obfuscate.
So Arthur, you see Peter woof, comes out of the shadows, waves his arms, and then disappears again.
I look over to Zahra and I think we're clear.
Don't forget you guys have a headset between you, or 2 headsets between you.
Yeah, but Zahra's got the other one.
She does? So
yeah.
You didn't give the...
No.
Because he lost his.
Don't ever give a headset to a mute Tremere.
She gave it to me, the headset, but she still had the other radio.
I'm a Martian, remember?
Martian? Yeah, I know, I'm kidding. I don't want to confuse the audience too much.
Okay. Okay, there is a city...
Trying to get up to the same spot he is now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Take that.
That was the signal to go. I presume that was it. That's kind of what we agreed on.
That was the signal to go.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the signal to go.
Okay, so you're going to travel along the road towards the township, the electric lights, the power, yeah?
Well, I want to get to where he is first before we even approach the city. Because we don't even know the city's there.
Oh, I see. So you guys are going up the hill to where Peter Wicks is. Okay,
Yeah.
well that requires 1 athletics check, strength and athletics.
Okay. I'm going to use a couple of blood. lose my strength.
While they're making athletics checks to get up there, Peter Wicks, you're making a perception check.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like I'm
Oh, no.
using...
So you guys are slipping around trying to get up the side of this an escarpment of red mud, red clay, and it's very slippery, and you're gouging holes in it trying to climb up. Peter, you're standing at the top, looking down, watching them, and then looking around, and then you see lamps, vehicle lights, bouncing along the road, coming around the corner, coming from the south.
It. Well, I didn't make it. I got 0.
Okay, you got 0. Okay, well, you slide back down onto the road. Peter, you reckon that they're going to be here in maybe a minute?
They're going to be here in a minute, so hide yourselves.
That is...
I got 3. Did I make it up?
Zahra, 3 successes. You are at the top, up with Peter.
Nice.
Arthur, you slid back down onto the road.
Yeah, the likelihood of me making 3 successes is very, very slim.
Right. You don't have to make 3. You just have to not fail.
Okay. Do I have enough time to try one more time then?
You do have time to make another attempt.
Okay, strength and athletics. There we go. A success.
A success. What was the number?
8.
8. Okay. All right. You managed to get yourself up off the road, high enough away from the road, hidden just enough that when this vehicle passes, this time it is a Jeep, and this Jeep has another gun on the back of it, like a large, heavy machine gun. 4 soldiers cruise past in uniform. They wear the uniforms of some tin pot military dictator. And they bounce off past you.
Perfect.
Finally, you get up to the escarpment where the other 2 are.
Completely covered in clay and mud.
Yeah. Fingernails full of mud.
It's never been my strong suit.
You've got this AK-47 strapped over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I signal you need to get better at that.
Yeah. I get it.
Says you need to get better at that.
I kind of got the idea. I have no real recognizable upper body strength. I spent too much time in the lab.
You can pump blood. You realize that? No?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. All right.
In the far distance, you can hear the sound of dogs barking, like urban dogs.
I tried to explain to him how to pump blood, how to make it flow through your body. Now, listen. See your body like an X-ray, okay?
Easy?
You see in your mind your blood pumping through your body?
Yeah.
Okay, now, kind of make your picture move your blood to certain parts of your body. Okay?
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Okay, all right.
You make a wits and occult roll.
Alright. Wits and occult.
And then he leans over to his companion and says, "Why am I doing this?"
I message, you don't have to.
We do if we want to keep alive.
He has to learn to be self-sufficient.
4 successes.
4 successes, okay. Well, I think that is a breakthrough moment for your character to realize what he can consciously control his vitae in his body to some extent. Yeah. Well,
To make the impossible possible, possibly.
Right, exactly. Now, the time is 2 minutes past 10, so officially we're going to wrap up. Let's recall where our characters are parked. So we are on a hill, on an escarpment, looking down on a road. We can see the town lights ahead to the south. you've had a couple of vehicles travel past you, but you're here on the escarpment, and you've just made it there. And the time in game is about 8 o'clock, p.m. Of course, p.m.
When are we playing next?
Sunday is going to be New Year's Day. Do you guys want to play on New Year's Day, or do you guys want to do the same thing as we did this week?
I'm fine with that.
Or you
I
can do
don't really
both if you want to.
party, so you know.
Right. Can do
Well,
both if you
I'll
want.
get back to you because I've got 2 parties and I have to split myself into 2 people.
Right.
So,
well, we can have this conversation later. In the meanwhile, we should go and raid somebody.
yes.
So let's see who is available for raiding.
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho. So goodbye, all you lovely people who've been watching us. Thank you so much for coming. We do enjoy your company. Raiding. Who to raid?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you.
We're going to raid...
Thank you.
I think it's going to be Dice Legends today.
Ooh,
They're playing Dungeons and
thank you.
Dragons, and please say hello to them from Rollstream and such. And yeah, have a good one. Good night to you all. We start the raid. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2. Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Go. Bye-bye.
And the anticipation.
The anticipation.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
And like that, we had raided.
So sleepy.